Hello? Hello. Hey everybody, happy Thursday. Good morning. You join us here for some pilot training. Yes, part 10. We continue on with the Navigraph Academy. And today we're going to do a cross-country flight. As we leave Altenrhein, we're going to ramble over to Innsbruck. Yes, for some VF4 flight action planning thing. High altitude, mad weather, you know, mountains and stuff. It's going to be grand. And a little bit later on then, we're going to start our briefing for tonight's VatSim flights, a double header. We're going to be flying out of San Diego over to Palm Springs, and then Palm Springs back over to Ontario in California. So I'm looking forward to that one. It's going to be grand. So it is. You join me here from a 5 degrees Celsius Tipperary in Ireland, and well, you're very welcome in. It's great to see you. You're looking well, you know. Right, brush your hair, comb your teeth, but you're all very welcome in. How are things, lads? You having a great day? Could be morning, afternoon, evening. It could be tomorrow if you're over that side, right? But what did I do? I've been busy this morning. Rejigging the thing with the stuff. It won't be ready today. I have to paint it. But effectively, rather than using cardboard boxes, it's going to be wood, and it's right, but it's coming along though. It's an upgrade worthy of time, effort, and choice new words when things don't go according to plan. Gave myself a splinter earlier on. I felt every bit of it. I nearly lost my whole arm because of it. Terrible bad, you know. But anyway, yes, we're here today to do some learning and prepare ourselves as best we can for tonight's flight. You see, why is that over there? Any crack? No? I'm waiting on stuff to arrive by the post tomorrow, which is going to be hardware. We'll probably show off next Wednesday. Looking forward to playing with some of that stuff. See, can I break it? You know what I'm like. And, well, apart from that, lads, it's just been flat out. I mean, the amount of stuff now available to us in Flight Sim, be it the hardware side, the add-ons, the whole thing is getting just mad. How do we control it all? How do we, you know? And that's why I think the flight training or the just lessons in general, you know, try and close the gaps, try and join the dots, figure out what we should be doing, right? Another way just to enhance your flight sim experience, following real world procedures as best we can. And that's where Navigraph Academy comes in, very much holding our hand from understanding how the aircraft is flying, right? Us controlling it, then the effects of power and speed and altitude and all this kind of stuff. Then we get into kind of the procedural flying when it comes to ground operations, taxiing in and around the place, engine startup, the use of checklists, flying in a traffic pattern, takeoff, landing, and now we very much focus on cross-country. And part of the real-world PPL course, well, cross-countries are there, right? So basically what we would do, we would plan a flight. We're going to start from this airport. We want to go to that airport. But how do we get there? Highly unlikely we get a direct too. Just that rarely happens. Well, there's other people flying, and there's things in the sky called clouds. They upset us. So we need to kind of navigate around them. Plus, you have airspaces, you might have high terrain, there's obstacles, there's all these things to consider, right? So we need to figure out a way of how to get there. And over the last couple of weeks, you know, we've been focusing on, you know, using charts and how does one navigate. I'm not tearing that. How does one navigate, get around the shop? You know, and by using Navigraph, it's so very handy because everything's in the one little area, you see. And then we moved on and we had a look at the old E6B, that lad, right? And how do we get kind of, basically, how do we get an accurate heading based on what the wind is doing? How do we aim off based on our speed and so on? So there's quite a lot to it, and it's a lot of fun. There's something else I keep meaning to do, and I haven't done it yet, but we will do it at some stage. Ali and Captain Arash did it. You know, the celestial navigation? I'm mad to do some of that in the sim. It's very, you know, get the calculator out and, you know, be good at math, but it's something I definitely want to do. So again, it's just another way that we can explore what's possible when it comes to aviation. There's so much to it. I think that's why we're all drawn here because of that. There's so much going on, you know. So yeah, looking forward to it. What else was I doing? I was messing around. We're going to plan a flight soon in jets once again, and bring out the jets. And I jumped into the Tornado, and it's just not doing what it should be doing in 2024. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. I don't know. So we might go with, whatchamacallit, we might go with a Jag or something, you know. Because again, we're spoiled when it comes to some of the military aircraft we have. The jets, absolutely brilliant. Not to mention then, of course, we have so many airliners as well on top of all of that. I mean, from helis, the MH60 got an update. That has to be flown. Innybills have been absolutely lashing out the updates for their aircraft, right? The T-33 as well. That's a special plane to go flying in. So we must do some of that. And of course, we're waiting on even more aircraft to be released. So it's all flat out, lads, do you know? But yeah, it's going to be a good one out today. Our VatSim flight tonight is it's a lot of planning and workload is increased because it's, you know, 2 hops. We fly to Palm Springs and we fly back out of there again. So we're looking for a relatively quick turnaround. And this is where the challenge really hits, because as we're flying, yes, we'll do the route, but as soon as we land, it's reset, put in a new flight plan and start building things up again. And we have secondary plans and whatnot, so we can have a look at that later on this evening. When it comes to the Navigraph side that we're doing today, I've really enjoyed this course. I think it's been absolutely brilliant, and we're nearing the end of it. Today we're going to do a cross country. Next week is a solo cross country, and that's the course, right? That's done, finished. So we'll move on to other stuff. And as I said, I've my own ground school topics, you know, we'll go over, and also some ATC stuff in there as well. But other things, you know, I want to spend a bit of time with choppers at some stage, bit of heli flying. Do you know what I mean? We'll keep it busy. We'll keep you busy. And what we're learning here with cross-country navigation, we can then start moving on to some of the instrument stuff as well, if you're interested. I'm talking about like VORs, DMEs, this kind of stuff, navigating, and even doing so online with air traffic control to stay out of the way, get a bit of flight following, this kind of stuff. It's lots of fun, lots and lots of fun. So anyway, that's the introduction, and sure, listen, aren't we all ready to go? Oh yeah, I've to dust me place down. I'm going to do a man cave tour next week, right? That's our video coming soon, and I'm just going to show. I'll probably like put me beside something with the camera going. So this is that thing that you see beside me, and I'm looking forward to that. So that'll be next week. Just it's not a very big room. You know, don't look at the back of my head now, but it's not a very big room. It's like, oh, Jesus, that's terrible this morning. Look, it's like, there's not, well, it is. No, there's not. No, Jesus. We'll turn that off. It's not a bad sized room. You know, it has a terrible side effect, though. It makes me hair look missing. But yeah, it's, I must get the measurements of in here, actually. But it's not very big. You know, everything looks bigger on the camera. Everything looks bigger, you know. More ball spot than monitor. Yeah, it's shocking. Jesus, right? But yeah, it'd be interesting to kind of show you around, because I mean, I'm accustomed to this. Everything in here actually has a function, which is strange. There's 1 or 2 areas that are just like, you know, yeah, let's put over there. But in general, most of the setup, it's very functional, you see, as a studio. And even though with all me kind of mad cable tidying, chasing, and putting things where I put them, well, there's always room for improvements. So I'll be looking for feedback from you lads as well, you see, especially like when it comes to, you know, our setup. The man cave, if you call it. We are a unique breed of creature that have these, because, well, some people just have, you know, the PlayStation or the Xbox. They sit on the couch, you know, it's fine. Others go absolutely, you know, tip off the far side and they start building, you know, a fully fledged simulator. And then you kind of have these hybrid, little bit of sim, little bit of office, little bit of Bajani then. And yeah. So I think it'll be fun. As I said, I'll be showing you my entire setup, everything, the whole shebang. And again, looking for feedback. And also, I want to see yours. You know, we want to share and come up with ideas. And you'd be like, Murph, see that? Yeah, move that. Oh, yeah, right. This kind. And I need to put up shelves as well. I have a shelf. I have 2 shelves behind the door. The effort. And when I paint it in here, it's black paint on the walls. It's like a chalky kind of, it's horrible. It's like blackboard paint. So if you touch it, you smudge it straight away. It must have been the wrong paint. It's not coming off, you know. But so you need to be careful when you're drilling and doing stuff, because like dust gets everywhere. Do you know? Yeah, it's a matte kind of a. It is matte. Yes, it doesn't shine at all. And like, no, I don't want it to shine because I don't want the lights to. But now, in retrospect, it should have been gloss because the lights would have bounced a little bit better. And there's lots of lights. You know, I mean, from the tech side of things as well. I mean, what I run, I have a 2 PC setup primarily, but in reality, there's 4 PCs in here. 5 if you include the laptop, which I don't really use because it's crap. It's an old laptop, right? It's one of these refurbished ones. It's just, it doesn't do the job. So I'm in the market for a laptop, but I have to wait, just wait for a while because, well, the idea being is I can bring something kind of with me to events and whatnot, So, yeah, I'm in the market for one of those. I just need to wait. Prices, lads, have gone absolutely ridiculous. And we were chatting about this the other day about cloud gaming, right? And I'm making some inroads there. It's right. The challenge we have, of course, is the lack of being able to use our peripherals if we want to go the cloud gaming route. One thing I have been watching and learning is GeForce Now. Well, they've managed to make, is it HTEP? I think it's called. It's the technology, but they're able to get the Thrustmaster stuff working, as in the T-Flight 1 or whatever it's called. That actually works through cloud gaming. It's a start, right? So we need to rally around all the other lads, Hey, get your stuff working online there, will you? And well, we see where that goes. Because again, looking at prices and where things are going, it's absolutely nuts. And then I started looking at AI. I was like, right, of all the AI is everywhere, and it's all the rage, and it's all the, yes, look at me and me AI. Oh, right, grand. But again, a lot of AI is quite useful, especially when you apply it to flight simulation, right? And I'm not talking like, bespoke, polished programs like, say, Intentions. I'm talking about if you want to do a flight plan, if you want to kind of, create your own kind of checklists specific to an aircraft, if you want to do your own home checklists, it's very handy for kind of putting things together. And indeed, if you're giving lessons on it, or you just want to do kind of like your refresher, it's very handy for that. And you can do other things like, top of descent calculators, and even program it to be an E6B, which I was messing around with the other day to put one on my website. So I'm not quite sure. But when we look at AI, I mean, there's so many. And then I was thinking, well, couldn't I run like a local AI, which I do. I have local AI. I use this Comfy UI, it's called Comfy UI. And that's for like, I'm trying to get ideas for editing pictures. I use Photoshop and all this, but like, I could be ages trying to say, can I just move that? Just take that and put it over there. I find it easier going into like a Comfy UI and say, hey, see that? Yeah, move that, will you? Psh, brilliant. Now I'm happy out. So there's all of these things, But yeah, running stuff locally, I believe, is where it's at. But I was watching a couple of videos last night going to bed. I was like, I want to learn some of this. And then you just see where the world is going. It's looking grim, isn't it? AI this and AI that. I was watching Jay's 2 cents. Jay is talking about AMD, and like there's no kind of further progression there because like, well, all their gear is being sold to like, the high-end companies because they're investing heavily into AI. So it leaves us as consumers somewhat kind of squeezed and shagged, right? And again, you start thinking about cloud gaming, or is there a way, that you can get better performance out of your hardware without having to look at upgrading? Because the price of RAM is nuts, GPUs nuts, CPUs nuts, the whole thing. If you're trying to get into PC gaming right now, I mean, you're really up against it because, well, the cost to entry is massive. Consoles are starting to make a lot of sense, sorta, but cloud gaming has to be an option. By and large, people like go back 5 years. What was your internet speed 5 years ago versus today? Right? So the internet is coming along slowly but surely. That's right. So you're saying, well, Microsoft knew this when they developed FlightSim 2024, a thin client. The idea being is, well, we don't need to do the heavy lifting. They'll do it and they just stream it. Now that comes with its challenges, don't get me wrong. And then cloud gaming, of course, would have those challenges as well. It's a very interesting kind of discussion to see, well, what can we do as consumers? What can we do? What's the best options for us? How do we do all of this? If you look at what Navigraph are doing, they're able to deploy an entire training course remotely. I mean, that's what this is. So you can see the levels of ingenuity and how they're able to progress with things without us having to buy CDs or buy the program, install it and run it. So yeah, it's interesting for sure. But anyway, I digress. Loads of things. You'd be chatting till the cows came home. Spitfire RAF 100 is here in the chat. Good morning to you, buddy. Hope you're well. Malky is here. Hope all is well, man. 98 Vulcan, greetings from Gosford, Australia. Hello from Tipperary. A balmy 36 degrees today. Oh, jeez, I'd love that. Idle Cutoff is here. Good morning, Murph. Cambridge calling. Hello from Tipperary. Welcome in. Idle Cutoff. Oh, yes, and still raining. Yes, it's raining. It's not nice here today. It's rain and it's windy and it's stay indoors today. You know what I mean? Crafty Tigers is here. Good to see you. Sid Squadron, Tony. Tony, you're streaming. What are you doing here? Welcome in, man. Hope you're well, buddy. Gerald is here. Gerald, rather, from my work office. Good morning, Murph. Have a lovely stream. Well, thank you very much. Great to see you, buddy. I hope you're well. Bellbro is here. Happy Thursday. Mr. Minimite, you're looking well. Clem, the A350 pilot. Good morning, Clem. Hope you're well. And busy working and studying. Yes. Commander Balosh, top of the afternoon to you. Stu Snape is here. He says, how are you, Murph? Working but lurking. Stu, great to see you. Stu, any update with the AB6? Are things working? You know? Tony just paused at top of descent and he wondered what had happened. It's all sorted now, though. Brilliant. Right, we're over here, look. Let me see. Cornwolf, good morning. Hope you're well, man. How is all in the land of Cornwolf? It's been a minute. It's more the monitor in the room. Yeah, it's shocking bad, isn't it? Naughty Gnome, good morning. Hope you're well, man. Looking forward to FS weekend. Brilliant. It's going to be some crack. We get in on Friday. And we'll be in Almere, which is just down the road. Jesus. Almere down the road. And we found a couple of pubs with questionable looking faces and you can play pool. So we'll meet you for the lovely pints on Friday if you're around. Dinner and a few pints, you know. Well, no, I say dinner. It's not going to be like a formal event. Or maybe it will. We don't know. But that's the plan. We get in on Friday and we'll just go for a couple of pints. Nothing major. Game of pool maybe, and then we'll be flat out then on Saturday, and we'll see what happens from there, do you know? But Trippy7, good to see you. Trippy A7, 40 streams in a row, buddy. Thank you very, very much indeed. I don't bother with overly dark colours in the man cave because they're a nightmare to dust, says the Impossible Face. Yes. That being said, all my IKEA furniture is black. Yeah, so this is all IKEA. It's like I forget the name of it. The worktops, which are kitchen worktops, the Alex kind of drawer thingies, which I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I have 6 of those. I'm very happy with my setup. Like, my studio makes sense to me. Do you know what I mean? And then we have the shelves of many things. 2 of them. Because, well, you lot keep sending me stuff and I need to put them somewhere. And now, well, I'm getting even more stuff and I need to, like, right. So stop sending me stuff. I have no room for it. But yeah, no, I want to put. I have stuff in a box that I want to put up on the walls. So I have to do some shelf work here soon. You know. I don't think that was one of those streams. I'll show you mine if you show me yours. It's grand. Where is this now? I'm highly dubious of the move to cloud subscription models. I don't like it one bit, says Mr. Minimite. Yeah, but I mean, you know, very quickly, if we were to say, okay, what's the cost of entry into getting a PC, or what's the cost to upgrade your PC, right? And I worked out even if you're to say, right, get a bit of RAM and, you know, a CPU, or RAM, CPU and a graphics card, and now you compare that to using cloud gaming, for about €1,400, 1,400 euro, right? That would give you 5 years worth of cloud gaming. 5 years. €1,400 would get you what? It might get you the RAM. Might. It's nuts the way things are gone right now, right? So at least in the earliest future, or the short term we're looking at, because there's no change. The price, they're still going up. Prices are still going up. There was a laptop I was looking at last week for €1,500. Which was actually a decent spec. It had an OLED screen, a 5070 card in it, and it had 32 gigs of RAM. For $1,500, I was like, this, and it was an AMD processor. That was pretty good. Now, the battery's going to be crap, right? 2 hours maybe. But for £1,500, I was like, Jesus, that's actually good. It's £1,700 this morning when I checked it. It's gone up €200 in a week. Why is that? And they're OEM prices, right? Or official prices. They're from, like, the manufacturer. It's crazy what's going on. AI is the devil. Indeed, and it is. More Greta friendly. It is. Muttley is here. Good morning. Hope you're well. Thank AI for the same, for the insane RAM prices. It's not even that. CPUs are the same. GPUs are the same. The massive corporation companies are investing heavily into AI. And, you know, like, Microsoft are doing it, right? All the big tech companies are doing it. They're buying up all the stuff, and there's money to be made here from the manufacturers because they're, okay, premium price, away you go. We mean nothing to them now, at least for now. You know, then it'll change. Then they'll come crawling back to us going, please, we made a mistake. Would you please buy our stuff? And we probably will, 6 megabyte down. Jesus. I also remember trying to do software development on a room full of thin clients connected to overpriced Blade servers. Jesus. I'm Pierce. Good to see you. Hope you're well. We won't be able to afford PC soon. Yeah, that's the thing. It's nuts. Console prices increases will be next. And 100% they will, because they need the RAM and the graphics cards as well, right? And even consoles, like the Xbox X hasn't changed its price. It's more expensive now to buy the Xbox X than it was when it first came out. Same with the PlayStation 5, the Pro. They're more expensive now than what they were 12 months ago. It's the way the world is going. But yes, Dr. Notham is here. Good morning. Hope you're well. Captain Cocktail, working from Los Angeles. You're very welcome in, man. Good to see you. I'll be in LA in a couple of weeks, but I'm only it's a stopover, Steiny is here with 5 gifted tier 1 subs. Frankenstein, thank you very, very much indeed. Lads, if you just got a tier 1 sub, but thanks to Steiny, he's gifted 175 of them so far. Jesus. Steiny, thank you very, very much indeed. Straight into the leaderboard for February. You're very kind. Thank you very much. Clem says, I'm not really studying now. I'm trying out the Pratt & Whitney update for the FS Labs 321. Ooh, nice. Dazza is here. Good morning. My wind control Airbus throttles. You just got them. They're fab. You're just waiting on the additional add-ons. Oh, nice. Yeah, I need to get my hands on those. I've gone for the Boeing setup, but I want to be able to kind of swap and change back to Airbus as well, right? I want to do a little bit of that because what I've seen looks incredible, and I know you guys are interested in them as well. So Stu says still the same with the AB6. Currently, just using a workaround for rebooting the base throughout the flight. That's so strange, though, isn't it? Chalks is here for 30 streams in a row. Good morning, Chalks. Hope you're well, buddy. Mr. Minimite says, my issue with everything being cloud-based is you don't own anything. And the day your internet goes on the blink, you have access to nothing. Shakes fist at clouds. Yeah, but that's kind of the way it is now with so many services. I mean, look at Adobe, right? Microsoft Flight Sim, Steam. Well, Steam will actually let you play offline. But there's a lot of that crack now. If you don't have access to the internet, you're shagged. That's just the way it is. Naughty Gnome says, nice, I get in at 10 to 5. I'll get the train to my hotel and then train back to you for Beerage. Nice. We're probably in roughly at the same time as well, Naughty. So, yeah, brilliant. So, yeah, we get in, we leave Dublin at 12 or something. So we'll probably get in at 3 or 4. So we won't be far ahead of you. And we're literally staying right by the train station. So, yeah. Brownie is here. Good morning. Hope you're well. The new Steam machines haven't had their prices announced yet. Yeah. Component prices. Sure, they don't know what to do. Abdul is here. Good to see you, Abdul. Good morning. Which is annoying because it would have been very reasonably priced. Yeah, the Steam stuff. Yeah. That was all the rage a couple of months ago. The Limbix is here. It might be just past midnight here, but I don't have tomorrow. So I am here. Wait, are you off tomorrow, the Limbics? Friday off? That's brilliant. They did a great job with the Steam Decks. Yeah, they were awesome. Flynn Ryder, good morning. Hope you're well, buddy. Just Roy is here. Very good afternoon. Train from Lelystad to Almere is 14 minutes. Yeah, it's literally the next stop over. And if you do a quick Google of Almere, there's a lot more going on there. Lelystad, there's nothing. There's a couple of shops and a little corner of 2 or 3 pubs. There's not much in it. Almere, there's a lot more in Almere. There's at least 5 or 6 different pubs and little cafes and restaurants and stuff. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It should be a bit of crack. Now, who else came into the parlour here this morning? Dave Cleary, legend Dave. Welcome in, Dave. Beers Bikes is here. Good to see you, buddy. Gary Moore, welcome in. From, is it Toowoomba? You're very welcome in, buddy. Hello from Tipperary. Cloud gaming sounds like the perfect solution to the problem. However, it depends solely on your internet speed, which are crap in Australia, he says. Are they bad in Australia, Gary? They are. Carbolet is here. Good morning to you, buddy. Hope you're well. Yeah. Most closed near 1 a.m. Notice one that open till 3 a.m, says Steiny. Is that in Almere? 3 a.m. is too late, though. The idea is we'll go out earlier. Because you want to be fresh for Saturday. You want your energy with you getting around Flight Sim weekend because it's a busy venue and there's so much to see. Do you know what I mean? So Yeah, we probably do the dog and it's Saturday night. We'll have to be, somewhat responsible on Friday night. I say this, of course, but, Pie Man Jim, good to see you. Am I watching the rugby tonight? I only realised that the Six Nations start tonight, and I'll be streaming. But Mrs. Two-Tone, you'll hear her in the background. She'll be rooting on the Irish. Come on, Ireland! But yeah, that's on tonight. Where is this now? Super Potato, yeah, cloud gaming, subscription, oh, nothing. But that's the way it's going, man. I mean, what can we do? Your alternative right now is buy your own hardware. And, look at the cost. Stupid, It's all part of the, it's a conspiracy theory. Quick, everyone get your tin foil hats, aluminum foil hats. We'll put them on so they can't read our thoughts. But yeah, crazy, right? Crazy. But, right, when we get into this now, I'm looking forward to this. We're going to learn, right, cross-country navigation. And I've done it many times, but not as part of me PPL or training. But I've been on folks doing it. And the visual reference points you pick out along your route, and you always have kind of like a plan B. And it's always fun then as you're flying, you're looking, oh, look at this. There's the thing right there. We arrived exactly 2 seconds late. This kind of crack. It's a lot of fun, right? So we'll get into this. And let's see what happens. I must be getting old, but Six Nations used to be on at the weekend. They started on a Thursday, Malky, which is friggin' weird. Do you know what I mean? Roy says, what's going on? Nothing. Right, we're just talking about cloud gaming and all that kind of stuff. That's why they're putting the prices up to pay for data centers and force you to pay for subscriptions. But the problem is they can't build data centers quick enough. That's another issue compounding the problem. Ireland is full of data centers. That's all you see getting built now. Data center after data center after data center. They're all over the shop. And there's more coming, you talk about the country's infrastructure, right? Electricity. How are they going to manage this? We don't have Greta, right? Turned off all our main peat power plants, right? So now we import stuff from Brazil. That makes total sense. Yeah, we'll import from the Amazon forester, right? I wouldn't want to be in the government these days. Skynet, it's going to take over, Mr. Minimite. It is. But anyway, lads, don't worry about it. Do we really care? Not really. Oh no, but me blood boils. Shag it, be grand. We're going to do some flying. Don't worry about the real world. It's an absolute mess. Out there in the world, it's a mess. We'll be here where things are nice and warm and safe, But yes, probably tear up the windmills instead. But we have loads of those. In actual fact, they actually built. Do you know what they did? There's a wind farm out the road. It's a fairly big one, there's 13 or 14 units. But now they come back, that's their years. They have to come back and they've built solar panels underneath it. And it's friggin' mad from the sky looking at it. It's like flying over a lake. Do you know? It's oh, that's a lake. No, it's not a lake. Wait, hang on. Right? Cool. Wind farms. You're going to see lots more. But anyway, look at this beautiful picture of a Tags Hangar Alouette 3 encasement aerodrome Baldonnel. Isn't that gorgeous? That's in the sim. But anyway, what we're going to do, lads, we're going to get ourselves started because we have a bit to cover today, right? Our cross-country navigation, and we'll open up Navigraph here as well. Keep that on the other screen. And as I said, later on, we're going to get into our flight planage when it comes to... our flight planning is going to come to, whatchamacallit, our VatSim flight later on, right? Right. So, cross-country navigation. And we're doing quite well on this. As I said, we're at the tail end of our PPL course here with Navigraph. So, mountain valleys, alpine lakes, and a famously demanding destination. Today, we'll put our visual navigation skills to work on a cross-country flight from St. Gallen, Altenrhein to Innsbruck. Ooh. This is a flight that is both amazing and challenging. The perfect combination of the second to last lesson of our virtual private pilot license course. Nice. Innsbruck sits in the Inn Valley, ringed by peaks rising up to 10,000 feet and steep terrain within a few miles of the runway. Flying here rewards good habits, deliberate waypoint choices, terrain-aware routing, disciplined altitudes, and timely configuration for your arrival. We'll reuse the same logic on our solo nav to Zurich in the next lesson. Oh, we're going to Zurich. Vespia, good morning. Hope you're well, buddy. Now, mountain flying, this is something that we do an awful lot. On our group flights, most of our, well, I won't say most of it, but like we do a lot of mountain flying. Mountain flying offers all sorts of challenges, right? But the payoffs are great because the views are just stunning, right? Flying in mountainous terrain, it demands a different kind of preparation than the lowland navigation we've done so far. The most important tool in planning is terrain awareness, which means knowing not just where the peaks and valleys are, but also how high we need to be in order to pass them safely. And you get all other sorts of phenomenon when it comes to mountain flying. You get updrafts and downdrafts and all this sort of stuff, right? We'll go into Bob Ross mode here for the moment and I'll show you. This is pretty cool when it comes to mountain flying, right? So let's say, for example, here's our mountain, right? Isn't it a lovely mountain, right? So I can't even move my mouse, but here's our mountain, right? And you know, we're going to indicate what the wind does here, right? So let's say, for example, the wind is coming in here from the west. But what happens is wind comes in this direction, right? Wind is coming in this way, and what happens is when it hits the side here, well, the wind starts traveling upwards. It starts going up the side of the mountain, right? And what happens then? That's causing updrafts. It means the wind is pushing, you know, the wind is hitting it and it's going upwards. And what that does for our little airplane as we're flying it, right? Our airplane is this way, right? That's a mad looking airplane, right? It's shagged is what it is. But if we're going this direction, right? What happens to this airplane is when the wind starts hitting us, as our plane is flying this way, we get free energy because the wind actually starts pushing us upwards. And it's great fun in the sim because they've modeled this, right? But it's also very important to note, if our plane is getting pushed upwards, we get free energy. So therefore, it is vital for us to know what direction the wind is blowing, because we can use that to our advantage if we need to clear an obstacle quick without worrying about engine power and all this kind of jazz, right? On the flip side of this, the wind doesn't just stop when it gets to the top. This wind actually continues, and then it has the opposite effect, the far side, because, well, the wind now sweeps downwards, right? And by doing so, the wind is having an impact on the air around you, doing this sort of stuff, and this causes a downdraft, meaning it's almost like a vacuum. It's pulling you down towards the ground. So in a little airplane, what happens is it starts doing this crack, meaning we're getting dragged down. We'll have to adjust our pitch. We'll have to adjust our power. So this is something to be very careful flying in and around mountainous terrains, right? There's also other things we need to watch because this comes down to, where's the green box? It was over here in the corner, look. You know. And then we'll just put this guy here beside it, right? That's very important. Right? So there's our green box, and we'll just leave that there. That purple thing, we'll leave that there, right? That's very important, that little purple thing. But what happens is then you also have what's called density altitude. Now, density altitude is basically, the best way to describe this is the higher up your aircraft is on terrain, mountainous, high level locations around the world, and the temperature outside, 10 degrees, 15 degrees, 20 degrees. Well, what density altitude is doing, in absolute, the most basic form, it is derating the performance of the aircraft's engine, because aircraft, they work on an air to fuel mixture. The ratio is how much air versus how much fuel is being burnt by the engine. The higher we get, right, the less dense air is. Air starts thinning out rapidly, more so than me hair, right? So the higher up, the less air there is. Therefore, to keep our engine running smoothly, but also keep the thing running, we must adjust our mixture. We would lean out the air, thus adding fuel. You're leaning out. You're saying, right, I need more air to be mixed with the fuel because there's no air the higher you get. So that's why the higher you get, you're now leaning the mixture. You're literally trying to let more air get into the aircraft, and you're kind of reducing the fuel load going in, right? That's what we need to kind of watch for. Now, in today's flight, we're not necessarily looking at the mountainous flying from that regard. It is just something to be aware of it, right? Can we have a green box emote? We have one, but I think it's on Discord. Do you know? No one asked me what that purple thing is. That's interesting. Hey, Linny Bobbins is here. Good to see you, Linny. Hope you're well. Forget real world problems. My ma rang this morning complaining about how it's too wet to leave the house. I just said, oh, that's terrible. I know you're flying a helicopter. Right, Patrick, that's the way to do it. You know what I mean? Greater demand for energy raises prices. We're still there. We are. Let me see. Ask Yo, welcome in. But anyway, so mountainous flying, you can use this to your advantage when you're flying, because as I said, on this side of it, you get free energy, right? But yeah, there's that green box. The green box is, well, that solves all the issues, you know. And then you have the little purple thing beside it. Surprised no one has asked me, Murph, what's that purple thing? What does that represent? I'm surprised no one asked me that. But anyway, you get the idea. So as you're flying, an updraft is going to push your aircraft up, and a downdraft is going to bring the aircraft down. Both circumstances you need to adjust, right? Because if you're flying in tight airspace and you must maintain a certain level, well, then you'll need to, you know, add some trim or apply pressure, reduce power. And then on the flip side, you got to, well, double it up, right? What's the purple box? The purple thing? That's a very good question. That is the bullshit. Brilliant! Come on, that took way too long. That's the bullshit. Right, moving on anyway. So mountain flying, right? That was brilliant. Someone write it down, quick. Hey, it's Laziest here. Good to see you, buddy. Right, so in Navigraph charts, you're going to see a figure shown as MSA, or that's known as minimum safe altitude. You'll see MSA written all over the place, right? Not to be confused with mean sea level or above ground level or all these other little letters. MSA is our minimum safe altitude, right? Cannot believe he actually managed to troll you. Brilliant, isn't it? Isn't it brilliant? You know, minimum safe altitude. These numbers show the lowest altitude that we can fly in a given sector without risking collision with terrain or obstacles. And they are expressed in hundreds of feet, right? Hundreds of feet. So the mean or the minimum safe altitude is at 11,400. See this 11,400? Well, that means it's 11,400 feet because each number represents hundreds. Yeah. So if you have 11,400, it's 11,400. All right. So the minimum safe altitude, and again, we can bring this up in our Navigraph charts, right? These numbers here, this is the minimum safe altitude. 5.1. Anyone not have an idea? This one here says 5.1. So what's the minimum safe altitude if it says 5.1? Right? 5,100. 8.6. 8,600. You get the idea. And then when you start moving over to high terrain, well, you can see, look, 18.2. 51 feet. 18.2. 18,200 is the minimum safe altitude. You know what I mean? And it depends on where you're flying in the world. And like, well, the Alps are freaking huge. But like, if you head on over to, you know, this neck of the woods, it gets absolutely nuts here altogether. Look, 30,000. Like, it gets absolutely nuts. Now that's over Lukla neck of the woods, but you get the idea, right? You know, you can see this minimum safe altitude. It's important when you're trying to plan your flights. You're going to say, well, hang on, you know, a Cessna 172, 12,000 feet. Yeah, it can clear it, but like, forget 30,000 feet. Then you need to start considering things like oxygen and all this sort of jazz. Turbocharged engine would probably handle it. Your standard one wouldn't, you know. Is feet used in all countries in aviation? Yes, it is international, right? The international standard is using feet. Yes, they use meters in other places, but it's feet. It's always done in feet, unless they tell you otherwise. But it's always feet, right? Modern aircraft will show you both, you know, meters or whatever. You can use a metric system, but they'll always go by feet. Your charts will always state feet, unless they state otherwise. Any chart I have, I've only ever seen them in feet. I haven't seen them in meters, all right? So, over the Central Alps, the minimum safe altitude can climb to almost 14,000 feet, well beyond what our small Cessna can manage comfortably. Instead of brute forcing our way across the highest peaks, we can travel inside the valleys, or parallel to the highest peaks. Or parallel. Inside the valleys are parallel. So that's a typo. We found it here. We need to let the Navigraph people know. Hang on now. We'll open up this and we'll go to Navigraph. Now. Where do we want to show this? Can we do one of those? Yes, we can, Murphy. Yes, we can. Isn't it very good the way we help our lovely friends in Navigraph? So I need to do one of these for our small telescope. Instead of brute force our way across, we can travel this inside valleys, or should be or. Should be or. Right, we continue on. Obi-Wan. Sunjammer's here, good to see you. Also, flight levels are based in feet, correct. P.S. Mirandai, hello there. Welcome in, buddy. So, this means dipping down below the published... mean or minimum safe altitude, and this is only possible while flying visually. Altitude changes will be planned as we find new safe altitudes to fly at, right? We're busy this morning. I know. Right. Anyway, Navigraph charts make it easy to manage these changes. Each waypoint on your planned route can be given a note with an assigned altitude. For example, you might keep your early waypoints at 4,500 feet, then add a climb to 7,000 feet at the lakes before the high ridges. Right? So, if we wanted to create custom waypoints, and we'd be doing all this, we'd be creating waypoints, right? This flight is going to test all the skills that we've gained so far. Our route planning, waypoint identification, timing, and our heading control, but now with the added complexity of high terrain. More than anything, it's going to show us how important terrain awareness is in safe visual navigation. Plan carefully, stay ahead of the aeroplane, and Innsbruck will reward you with one of the most memorable arrivals in all aviation. And that's no word of a lie. It is gorgeous, right? Bill Fury, welcome in, Bill. B. Carlo, welcome in. So we have a video here to watch, and in the video, we're probably going to be planning some Navigraph action. So I'll bring up Navigraph here on my tablet because I can use that, right? And I can be planning here in the background just by popping it in. So I have Navigraph here on my tablet, right? Which is brilliant because Navigraph works on tablets. So I'm going to be doing that in the background, but we're going to watch this video. It's about 25 minutes or so. And the plan here is we want to figure out what it is we're doing today. We can kind of see the route here, but we want to learn more about it because there are important waypoints, and we'll probably be putting in some altitude restrictions or just reminders as we're flying along with Navigraph to see and to make sure we know what we're doing. You know what I mean? So we'll start this video here now. And I'll still be here. If there's any questions, just let me know. We'll jump into this and get an idea of what's happening. Are we ready, friends? Excellent. Let's do the thing with the yoke with the thing.
Let's fly to Innsbruck, a world-famous airport located in the heart of the Alps. Airline pilots are only allowed to fly here with special simulator training, mainly due to the steep terrain surrounding the airport. Today, we will fly visually from St. Gallen to Innsbruck, discovering the amazing landscape as we do. Are you ready to conquer the Alps? Let's go! Welcome to the final instructor-led lesson of the virtual private pilot's license course with Navigraph Academy. Today, we will put it all together. Our required skills will be put to the test. Our challenging navigation flight to Innsbruck will require us to bring your best aviating skills and navigation expertise in order to bring us safely to our destination. Next time, you will be conducting your solo navigation flight to Zurich. So listen carefully today and you'll be fully ready to complete your virtual private pilot's license in no time. We'll start by planning our route in Navigraph charts, and I will let you in on a few more secrets with regards to the functionality of the app. Once that is done, Jason will join in and discuss the route in detail. Today, we'll have a specific focus on mountain flying safety and skills. It will be challenging, rewarding, and a whole lot of fun. So let's go. Innsbruck is located around 100 miles west-southwest of St. Gallen. It is the capital of the Austrian state of Tyrol and a popular winter sports location. Located inside the Inn Valley and situated along the Inn River running along the valley floor, Innsbruck is a magnificent city to visit, be it summer or winter. The airport is located just a couple of miles from the city center, and it offers every visiting pilot a unique challenge. Closely surrounded by mountains that stretches up to 10,000 feet above sea level and almost 8,000 feet above the airport, you must take time to plan your arrival properly. Let's get started. We'll begin by preparing our route out of St. Gallen. Make sure you have set up your chart the way you like it. Last time we did decide to switch off the airspace and the navigation map layers. I will do the same today, like this. Heading out of St. Gallen, we'll use runway 10 today. Let's right-click and add waypoints at the end of the downwind and at the end of the crosswind leg. Zooming out slightly, we'll then head to point Echo or point east. Looking further ahead, we can see the Alps to the south of our route. The figure here denotes the minimum safe altitude or MSA in the area in hundreds of feet. This means that if we were to overfly the Alps, we would have to be at almost 14,000 feet not to hit any mountains. But this is way too high for us today, and in real life such an altitude would require the use of oxygen as well. So instead, a better solution is to skirt along the northern edge of the Alps until we find a suitable valley to follow down into Innsbruck. So first, let's start heading eastbound. This lake over here looks great as a first waypoint. Let's pick the southern edge of the lake as the target. I'll add my waypoint. Here's a trick. The waypoints are all listed at the top of the screen in the so-called route pill section. Right now, all of our waypoints are named by the coordinates of the points, and this is not so easy to remember. We can make it more intuitive by giving them proper names. Hover and click on the route pill options menu, and then select Create User Waypoint. We can now name the waypoint to whatever we want. I kind of think this lake looks somewhat like a whale, so let's call it Whale Lake. You can select whether you want to save the waypoint for this route only, or if you would like to be able to reuse it in future flights. If you decide to reuse it for future flights, the waypoint becomes global. I'll select flight only this time. Okay, let's keep planning. We are looking further east. Our next waypoint could be the large lake over here, called Lake Forgense. Let's pick the southern tip of the lake as our waypoint. However, the forested areas down here have quite high terrain. We can see that we'll cross right over it. So let's try to fly around this to the north. I kind of like these two small lakes. They're looking like a pair of eggs, so let's pick them. Click, hold, and drag to add an intermediate waypoint. Alright, now we're getting into the higher terrain portion of the flight. Zooming out, we can see Innsbruck down here. We can also see a perfect path to follow down into the Inn Valley. Just north of our valley, we find a lake called Lake Wachensee. This is a good target for us. Let's add a waypoint on the southern tip. However, zooming in on our route, we can see that we are again passing close to some mountain peaks sitting right here. And they are pretty high, almost 7,000 feet for the tallest ones. It'd be nice to add a waypoint to pass in between the peaks. I'm sure the view will be amazing, but we should also stay clear of those high tops. Let's add another intermediate point here and call it Twin Peaks. Here comes the fun part. Let's head into the Alps. At Innsbruck, several visual flying points assist us in approaching the airport. This is all necessary as the airport lies deep inside the tight Inn Valley. For us today, the first approach point is called November 1. After that, we'll head to November 2, followed by Whiskey 2, India, and as we are landing on runway 26 today, we can go all the way out to Mike 3, located at the end of the downwind. From there, we'll turn base for landing. Great, this is a solid plan. Before Jason talks us through the route, let's also consider the flight altitudes for each of our legs. Let us look at the initial route first. Heading westbound from the point east towards Whale Lake, we find terrain rising to almost 5,000 feet. However, the mean ground level at the beginning of this leg is closer to 3,500 feet. So let us pick 4,500 feet as our initial altitude. This will allow better views of the ground features and will thread the peaks at the end of the leg. Here is another trick. Clicking on the waypoint for point east, we can click Edit and then add the planned altitude in the Notes section. This allows us to pick it up during the flight for easy reference. Let's pan further eastwards. Passing Whale Lake towards Egg Lakes and then towards Forgense, we can see that we pass north of the high terrain as intended. So let us still maintain 4,500 feet throughout. However, after Forgense, we'll pass in between our twin peaks, and the terrain here is rising to over 6,000 feet, with the peaks over 7,000 feet high. Let's zoom in and make sure we do this properly. We can pass between the highest terrain, but we should have close to 1,000 feet clearance to the valley floor. And we can see that the floor is at around 5,000 feet, so let's climb to 7,000 feet for good measure. I'll add this in the note section once again. I'll do this on the point Forgense, as this is where we will begin our climb. Our next leg to Wachense has the same 6,000 feet high terrain, so let's maintain altitude on this leg. As we turn southbound into the Alps, an interesting thing happens. The valley floor is approximately 3,000 to 4,000 feet, but the peaks surrounding it are upwards to 8,000 feet. To be able to navigate well and to enjoy the scenery, we can choose to fly inside the valley. Let's descend down to 5,500 feet here. It will be amazing to pass in between the peaks. We can follow 5,500 feet all the way until we pass November 2 and head to Whiskey 2. Scanning the terrain again, we see that as we pass into the Inn Valley, the ground level drops again down to about 3,000 feet, and then further along the route to 2,000 feet. Furthermore, checking the airport information for Innsbruck, we see that the airport is located at 1907 feet. Thus our traffic pattern altitude should be at about 2,900 feet. But the terrain south of Innsbruck is close to 3,000 feet high. We therefore need to maintain higher pattern altitude on downwind. If we aim for 3,500 feet, we'll be fine. We'll have to make sure to descend more on the base leg later, as it will take about 4 minutes to descend from 5,500 feet to 3,500 feet, and considering that we are flying at almost 2 miles per minute, we need to start descending approximately 8 miles before we reach the downwind and the pattern. Looking at the map, we can see that we pass a final ridge before heading into the Inn Valley, right here. Between the ridge and Whiskey 2, we have about 1 mile, then there's another 5 miles to Point India, which amounts to 6 miles. Another 2 miles between India and Mike 3 should be about here. And that looks good, that's on downwind. Thus, we can start descending as soon as we clear this ridge line, right here. From there, we can enjoy the landing in Innsbruck. Now, let's head over to Jason, ready in the plane to prepare you for the practical navigation.
Hello folks and welcome back. Today, we have a stunning flight in front of us. It's a beautiful day here in the Alps, and we're glad it is. Flying to high mountains like this requires good weather, as fog, low clouds, or precipitation may cause us to fly blind. something which can have dire consequences with such high terrain around us. We also have to consider the wind situation. High winds cause a lot of turbulence around mountain peaks, so severe that planes can momentarily lose control. Furthermore, dangerous descending winds down the mountain slopes can cause a small plane like the Cessna to lose all climbing ability. Mountain flying requires a lot of skill and careful preparations. Thankfully today we have perfect flying conditions. We're going to have fun. All right, let's go through the route. Heading out towards Point East, we perform our departure checklist. One thing we have not mentioned before, but you can select the landing and taxi lights off when we are off on our navigation flights. These lights are mainly used for visibility in the traffic pattern, and it saves on the bulb life if we don't fly with them all the time. I usually select them off when we leave the airport vicinity. Let's start the navigation. Point East is easy to find by overflying the Rhine outflow dikes and cross-fixing it with the peninsula at Lindau. Let's head towards Whale Lake now. We can see the rising terrain here. It's nice that we've selected 4,500 feet after Point East, as this leg overflies quite a lot of forested terrain. It can be difficult to find intermediate fixes. Make sure you set your heading bug on the course. Let's maintain this and check how long we could expect to be on this course. As the leg is quite long, around 20 miles, we could calculate that the Cessna will take about 10 minutes to fly this route. We can already see some of the Alps looming out over the horizon to our right. As we reach our cruising altitude of 4,500 feet, let us perform the cruise checklist. Cruise power is set at 2,300 RPM. We could select higher or lower settings if we wanted to save fuel or time. Different cruise settings are available to choose from in the Academy Cessna 172 user guide. For now, I'll go with 2,300 RPM. Next, you'll notice that the cruise checklists ask for mixture as required. This does not necessarily mean mixture rich. Since we have ascended to a higher altitude, the air up here is thinner and contains less oxygen per unit of volume compared to sea level air. This means that if we keep flying around with maximum fuel richness, there may not be enough oxygen molecules inside the cylinders to fully combust the fuel. I'll teach you the coarse but effective leaning method now. We're going to be using the mixture control knob situated here. We're going to go ahead and start slowly decreasing it by moving it aft. This will be easy to perform if you have your mixture control bound to a sliding axis on your peripheral. Okay, let's begin leaning the mixture. We'll keep an eye on our RPM indicator. We slowly begin reducing the mixture towards a lean position. It is important you do this very slowly. Keep watching that RPM. You'll see the RPM slightly increase. This means combustion efficiency is increasing. Keep slowly leaning the mixture until you hit peak RPM and it starts dropping again. The peak RPM is the spot where oxygen and fuel molecules are at the perfect balance. However, operating at peak can cause the engine to overheat slightly. Thus, give the mixture a slight push towards the rich side. Great, mixture is leaned, thus checklist is complete. Remember,
now just on that procedure then is rich of peak. So you have two different settings. You can go lean of peak or you can go rich of peak, right? Lean of peak is going to be more fuel efficient. Rich of peak is going to be more power. That's usually how it works, right? So efficiency when it comes to your fuel burn, depending on the temperature of the aircraft, depending on cylinder head temperature and all the rest, or rich of peak then is going to give you slightly more power. So just remember that you have two lean settings, or two mixture settings, rich of peak or lean of peak. All right, just remember that. Soaring AJ is here. See Garcia. Yeah, 100%, dude. We'll do airliner stuff soon. 100%. Right. So we'll continue on, but just remember you have two settings. On each setting, if it's going to be rich of peak, it's focusing on power. Lean of peak, it's focusing on fuel efficiency. Each you got to watch. If you're rich for more power, you're burning fuel faster. If you're lean, well, you're more efficient on your fuel, but the engine is running harder, i.e. it could get a little bit hotter. All right, so
We have to lean again if we climb higher. Let's return to the navigation flight. Compared to last time, flying over this area presents a greater challenges. Here are some of my suggestions for the route up to the entry into the Alps. First, make use of the shapes of the forested areas shown on the map. This large forested area rising up on the slope is distinct. We can also see a town to our left. Looking at the map, my take is that this is forest and the town is Lindenberg and Allgäu. That means we're on the right path. Second, keep using time as a reference. Here, I've been flying our lag for about 7 minutes. We're coming in over another town, and we can see rising terrain ahead. Looking at the map, we could be over this town. It makes sense, as we should be about here after 7 minutes of flying at cruise speed. To confirm, I look over my cowling, and I can actually see a valley to my right and a lake at the end of it. That matches the map perfectly. Third, here's a mountain flying trick. We don't have to follow the route perfectly. It'd be a lot safer to turn slightly right here and follow the valley down towards Whale Lake, rather than overflying the highest peaks on the north side of the valley. Let's turn and cruise down towards the lake. Whale Lake looks beautiful, almost like a mirror, telling us that wind is calm today. Okay, all is good so far. Let's turn slightly left now and head further east towards Egg Lake. These lakes are small, so we can't really see them from here, but there are several distinct features visible ahead. Can you see this mountain ridge and the lake to the left? Checking the map, we can see a ridge stretching across the route. It looks like we should pass the ridge's southernmost edge, and just over it, we should see a lake. Let's head over there. Passing the ridge, we see a large lake to the left. That's got to be this one. Looking ahead again, we spot another lake over the next ridge. Nice. That is definitely this lake, which we should pass on the southern tip. We're on our way to Egg Lakes, all right. It's always important to confirm each navigation point by cross-fixing it. Here's a town located just west of the lake we're tracking towards. Is that on the chart? Looking down? Yeah, I could see it right here. That's confirmation for us. And there's Egg Lake. No doubt about that one. Next up, the large lake Forgensee. Looking ahead, we already see it from here. At least we're quite sure it should be out there. We'll turn on our course and confirm it as we get closer. We can now see the mountains that we're going to head into on the next leg. We'll mentally prepare to climb as we approach Forgensee. Checking the waypoint and the notes I have put there earlier, I cross-check the altitude I'm going to climb to. Coming closer to Forgensee, we can see the two lakes leading up to it. No doubt, here we are. Here's something to look out for on your flight. Down to our right, you'll find one of the most famous castles in the world. This is Castle Neuschwanstein, a 19th century fortification built on a hilltop for King Ludwig II. It is said to be the inspiration for the famous Disney castle. We'll now focus on the climb. As the terrain rises rapidly ahead, we know the drill by now. Full power, right rudder, and get that nose pitch to the climb attitude. Visually confirming mountain peaks by shape can be pretty tricky. It is better to look further and try to see the mountain ranges. To our right, we should see even higher mountains, and to our left, there should be only lower terrain. We could confirm this. Here's the mountains on the left, and here's the range on the right. Let's pass between Twin Peaks here. As we come closer, we see that Twin Peaks may have been a misnomer. Many peaks have been a better name. Let's fly through the lowest point on the ridge right here. Once we're level on our new altitude, let's perform a quick leaning of the mixture again. There we go. Look at that valley ahead. That's so pretty. with the river snaking down eastwards. As we come closer to our next waypoint, this ridge looks high. Checking the map, we find the peaks up to 6,700 feet. Let's thread this needle by going around slightly to the left, following the mountain pass over here. We can now see a lake ahead of us. Checking the map again, that should be Waschensee. It's finally time to head southbound and into the Alps. We're not too far from Innsbruck now. Let's also descend down to 5,500 feet as we decided when planning the flight. We can refer to the notes again to check this. Now is a good time to start on the descent checklists. We've started our initial descent and we'll be in Innsbruck soon. All right, here we go. Mixture. Let's increase it halfway to full ridge. We're still high and benefit from somewhat lean mixture. It'll be set to full ridge before the landing checklist is done. Altimeters. We need to check the local pressure at Innsbruck. This is available in the Navigraph charts. However, this only works if you're flying with live weather. If you're not using live weather, go to the in-game weather panel and check the selected pressure. We find it right here. Set this up on both altimeters. Here we go. Main altimeter. Standby altimeter. Approach procedure. All right, let's brief it. Joining point India, we will turn downwind. The airport will be visible on our left side. We'll make sure to make a good parallel distance as we have rising terrain on the opposite side of the runway and want to avoid an overshoot on the base leg. We'll aim to be 3,500 feet and level just after India. Point Mike is on our base leg point. It's just located after the big intersection of roads here. Innsbruck is a new airport for us. Let's therefore quickly check where we should be going after landing. Zooming in, we can see that the terminal and the control tower is on the south side. The general aviation parking is on the north side. We'll park by the hangars, and it seems to be taxiway Zulu for us. Zulu is quite close to the touchdown point for runway 26, so we may need to have to do a turnaround on the runway and do a short backtrack. All right, good brief, checklist complete. Let's continue our flight and pay attention to the terrain. Our course is almost due southbound, and we can see a valley ahead of us. Rotating the chart to the new direction of flight, it would make sense that the valley is on our way into Innsbruck. We can see this mountain on the chart here. And on the other side, we could detect this mountain range as well. We should be able to see this town as well, and there it is. Here's a word of caution. In this location, it would be easy to make a mistake and follow the rightmost valley. It could prove difficult to reverse that decision, especially as we're flying below the mountain peak height. Turning around in valleys is not recommended, as the turn radius may be larger than there is available elbow space. Do not attempt to turn around before climbing to safe altitude. Today, we'll stay ahead of the game and make sure we always enter the correct valleys. As we enter the valley, let's not follow the planned course strictly. Instead, we're going to follow the valley's snaking direction on a sort of southbound route. We'll try to keep as much distance to the peaks as possible while enjoying the breathtaking views. November 1st is coming up. It's located in the small town at the bend of the valley. There it is. We can see the road turning to the right, then continuing southwards. We can already see the next town further down the valley where we should find November 2. And here's the next town. You can even see the little lake at the southern end of it. Nice. All right, passing the town, it's soon time to start descending. We'll have to cross this ridge first as it stretches up to 4,900 feet. Once across, we'll begin our descent towards 3,500 feet. Okay, let's focus on Whiskey 2. It's not that easy to find. The best way to find it is to look for the bridge across the Inn River. There it is. Now we have time to take in the view. We're in the Inn Valley properly now, and looking left, we see the Inn River. Innsbruck is just around the corner. Point India is located on the south side of the valley. Here, you may find it difficult to spot the exact location and position, and things move pretty fast too. My advice is to look for this large forested mountain on the chart, as you can see here. You can also use the river and the forest running in the middle of the valley as references. India is on the right side, after passing the edge of the mountain. As we come closer, we can see the airport on our left. Nice. The town associated with India is visible now. We could cross-fix it by checking if we could see the winding road going up the mountainside. There it is. Let's turn downwind. It's time to do the before landing checklist. Fuel selector, both. Mixture, rich. Landing lights, on. Taxi light, on. Autopilot, off. I checked the parallel distance. We're looking good. Time for flaps. We'll continue on downwind until overhead Point Mike. Mike is just after these large road intersections we've talked about on the approach briefing. I can see it now on the edge of this forest. Let's turn base, right over the city here. Flaps 20. Coming up on final. Nice job. Flaps 30. We're looking pretty good here. What a view out there. Look at that mountain on the right. All right, here we are in the flare. Touchdown. Gentle braking now. I don't have to go too hard. We're going to land and turn around and let's back taxi on the runway. Here's Zulu. Let's turn off the runway and do our after landing flow. Flaps are up. Strobe lights are off. Great. What a flight. I hope you're looking forward to your own trip.
And now it's your turn. Your first step is to plan the route in Navigraph charts and then mentally rehearse the flight. This will be a really magnificent trip and you will enjoy every minute of it. If you have enjoyed this briefing and this navigation guide, remember that the whole world is represented in flight simulators, as well as in Navigraph charts, where worldwide coverage is offered. You can go anywhere, whenever you like. There are literally tens of thousands of airports and countless breathtaking destinations and routes to choose from, be it in mountains, over Great Plains, across Great Lakes, or into the largest urban areas on Earth. After completing this lesson, you will have earned all the necessary skills required to plan, navigate, and fly a Cessna in any part of the world. And you can go wherever you want to go. As always, you can get flying right now over at the Academy website. There you will find an easy way to load this flight into your simulator. Good luck, aviator, and we will see you up there.
All right. Right, are we excited for this one, lads? This is going to be a bit of crack for sure. For sure. So question is, let me see, if the runway is at altitude, would you still be mixture rich on landing? Not particularly. So the rule of thumb is you would always set your mixture for best power, right? So if you're landing and the airport elevation is like 7,000 feet, but if you go full mixture, you're going to have that same problem. Not enough air and the combustion starts kind of fading out. Do you know what I mean? So you would always... you would adjust your mixture based on best power. Because the landing altitude here, we're only about 1,000 feet or so above sea level, mixture rich is fine. Mixture really only kind of comes into it at around 3,000 feet upwards, usually, right? Usually. But yes, let me see here. Already going on for 2.5 hours. Railroader, yes indeed. Good to see you, buddy. It's Evitech, welcome in. I'm Pierce is here. Very nicely done. Yeah, they've done a great job. They've done a great job. You have been standing at that very spot next to the Golden Gate Bridge. Nice. Nice. Right, okay, so we're going to look at our routing here, right? And I'm going to make sure that this is on Navigraph charts for me as well. So I think we're good. We are good. So the waypoints, right? Point East Echo, departure point over the Rhine outlet. That's fine. Whale Lake. We have that. Egg Lakes have that. Forgansea, and we need to be climbing up to 7,000 feet. Twin Peaks, we need to be at 7,000 feet. at Walchensee, big lake on the northern entry into the Alps. November 1, town at the bend of the Inn Valley. That's our Innsbruck VF4 entry point. November 2 is the next town. Whiskey 2 is the bridge over the river. And then India, which is it's an awkward-ish one, right? South side of the valley, level at around 2,900 feet for the downwind for runway 26. So we want to be down at 2,900 feet. Mike 3 is the road intersection, and then we're heading back in. All right. The altitudes they picked are kind of interesting. Yeah, they are. They work, but they are interesting. So landing at Innsbruck, the arrival into Innsbruck will highlight that not all circuits are created equal. The runway sits above 1,000 feet, but the mountain pressure, or the mountains pressing in close on both sides, a normal 1,000 feet above ground traffic pattern would be dangerously low. So instead, the published visual arrival points bring you down gradually to a downwind altitude of about 3,500 feet, which is roughly 1,500 feet above the airport. Still not much higher than the surrounding valley floor. From India, we're going to level off at 3,500 feet, check our spacing and begin configuring with flaps, and when we're ready, or when we're abeam, the touchdown point. Then the turn to base comes only after passing Mike 3. Finally, we can start descending, but due to the wider base leg, you'll have time to reduce those extra 500 feet of altitude before you hit the final leg. As you climb towards the higher legs of the route, the thinner air means that the engine can no longer burn fuel efficiency if left at full rich. This is why leaning the mixture is essential above a few thousand feet. The 172's operating handbook calls for mixture to be leaned above 3,000 feet mean sea level. So let's rehearse what Jason said in the video. The procedure is simple but powerful. Gradually and slowly pull the mixture control back while watching the RPM indicator. You'll see the RPM rise slightly as combustion efficiency improves, but keep leaning until the RPM peaks. As it happens, any further decrease of the mixture will lead to decreasing the RPM again, right? Mrs. Ups and Down, TBHI. Welcome in, Mrs. Good morning. We enrich the mixture, push it forward just a touch beyond the position when the RPM peaked. This avoids running too hot and overheating the cylinders. This rich of peak method is a coarse but reliable and quick way to set the mixture. And remember, anytime you climb higher, you may need to lean again as the air grows thinner with altitude. By contrast, when we're descending into the valleys and especially on final approach, slowly and gradually return the mixture to full rich so the engine has maximum power. All right, Dougal McTavish, the chairman. Good to see you, Dougal. Hope you're well, my dude. So when should we use landing and taxi lights? This is going to be different if you're most of your flight experience is done with airliners. Usually the rule is 10,000 feet, landing lights off. And the reason why that is, airliners tend to fly in and out of busy airspace, so they leave the lights on, right? However, for general aviation, once you kind of leave the traffic pattern, you don't necessarily need your landing lights on, right? Nav lights, strobes, absolutely. But landing lights, unless, there was an issue with visibility or it's getting dark, you turn them off, right? So when should you use your landing and taxi lights? Questions, keep them on throughout the flight, only when you're in the cloud. In the traffic pattern and airport vicinity, turn them off for longer nav legs, or do you only use them at night time? I'd only use them in the traffic pattern and airport vicinity. Turn them off then if you're going across country. What is the correct sequence of VF4 points for the Innsbruck runway 26 arrival? Is it India, November 1, November 2, Whiskey Mike 3? Is it November 1, November 2, Whiskey 2, India and Mike 3? I have it on a chart. Or is it November 1, Whiskey 2, November 2, India, Mike 3? So it's November 1, November 2, Whiskey 2, India, and then Mike 3. During cruise at altitude, how should we set the mixture for the best results? Do we leave the mixture full rich to keep the cylinders cool? Do we lean the RPM until the RPM drops by more than 50 RPM, then leave it there? Do we lean to peak RPM and keep it exactly at peak? Or do we lean slowly to peak, then enrich slightly to run rich of peak? They want us to run rich of peak, so the answer is number 4. Why do we route through valleys instead of crossing the Central Alps at the published minimum safe altitudes? Is it because the 172 can't legally fly above 8,000 feet? Is it because the minimum safe altitude is near 14,000 feet, which is inefficient for the 172 and may require oxygen, while terrain-aware valley routing keeps us safe at lower VFR? Is it because ATC prohibits VFR over the Alps? Or is it because valleys are always faster than direct routes? Well, the answer is the minimum safe altitude is near 14,000 feet, which a Cessna can do it, but it won't run efficiently, and you're possibly going to require oxygen up at that altitude. So the answer here is going to be 2. All right. So Greta would mind too. Yeah, she wouldn't be happy at all. So we're going to be doing this flight, lads. I have it here on Navigraph. Here's our routing, right? And if we have a look at our flights here, when we can see our user waypoints for this flight, so we can see, right, we're going to be taking off. We're going to exit the pattern to the northeast. Our first waypoint is point Echo, or point E. And then we fly all the way on over to Whale Lake. Now at Whale Lake, we're going to be aiming for about, I don't know, 4,500 feet, right? My Navigraph sounds different than yours. 4,500 feet is what our cruise wants to be, all right? So 4,500 feet, Whale Lake, Egg Lakes. Then at Forgansea, I've put in 7,000 feet because we need to be climbing in order to get through Twin Peaks. After Twin Peaks, it's all the way over to Walchensee, right? There's no change of altitude there. Then we come into the Novembers. Then we can start descending, and we're going to be down to about 3,500 feet, and then we start dropping in for a landing. Looking at the airport, we know general aviation is to the north of the field, right? So when we land, chances are it's unlikely we're going to make Zulu, so we'll have to just turn around and do backtrack and then exit off onto Zulu, all right? Flying Winnebago, good to see you, buddy. Welcome in, lads. After 2 years here, I now started to do sounds when opening apps too. Brilliant, isn't it? Right? Brilliant. So we'll move this across. And we'll continue on what we're doing. So this is it, the big one. Today we're going to fly from St. Gallen to Innsbruck, threading valleys, climbing over ridges, and descending into one of the most demanding airports in Europe, with your route prepared in Navigraph and altitudes marked on each leg. Well, it's time to put all our skills to the test. We're going to begin on the apron at Bravo. We're going to start at the aircraft, taxi to the run-up, and then depart on our navigation to Innsbruck. There's no time limit on this. Once on the ground and parked at the general aviation apron in Innsbruck, shut down the aircraft and then we'll exit the lesson. Last time, you need to pass close, just like last time. We need to pass close to each waypoint in order to be given the complete green tick, right? So we're going to be flying out of St. Gallen, on the ground at apron Bravo, cold and dark. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, daylight conditions. The sky is clear, temperature's nice and warm. 1,030 hectopascals and the wind is calm. Right.
You are once again doing some navigating. This time, you're going to the beautiful Innsbruck. Make sure you have planned the whole route on your charts. First, launch the simulator. Go to Activities. Pick Custom Content. And then select the third lesson in Phase 2. You'll find yourself on apron Bravo. Start up your aircraft and taxi out to runway 10 for takeoff. Once airborne, you must pass all your points in the order given to be able to pass this lesson. Your flight will be monitored, so make sure you steer to correct headings and do not stray away from the route. After landing in Innsbruck and parking at the general aviation apron, head back to the Navigraph Academy website to see how well you did. Have fun and enjoy the Alps.
Ooh. We shall have fun. Right, so that's the plan of attack. That's what we're doing, right? So bring him over there, right? And what we're going to do here now is inside the sim, we're going to select cross-country navigation. Are you excited for this? So what I want to do here, I want to look at my checklists. And we're going to bring up our Cessna 172 checklists on the screen. And I'm going to be following these then for our on the ground, before engine start, and all the jazz. So there's quite a bit we're going to go through here, but I'm excited for this, lads, right? It's going to be a beautiful flight. We're going to have stunning scenery along the way, and we'll just keep an eye on things, right? We'll keep an eye on things. So, yeah, looking forward to this. So let the sim load in. Hopefully it doesn't break. Here we go. Oh, we've all sorts of sounds here because that's FS Realistic doing its thing. Now, hang on, why is it not working? Okay, so there's my head tracking working. Lovely stuff. Now, the thing with FS Realistic, it can be quite loud, right? So for this, we're just going to turn the divel off, right? And we'll come back to it later on. So here we are with a Cessna. All the remove before flight has been checked because the aircraft is loaded in this state. All right. So we can assume everything is all absolutely grand. So we're going to make sure that our brakes are set. Brakes are set, right? Circuit breakers are all in. They all look good to me. Electrical equipment is off. Avionics switch bus 1 and 2 off. Fuel selector valve goes to both. Fuel shut-off valve goes fully in. Right, throttle we're going to open about 1/4 inch. Mixture set idle cutoff. Standby battery we're going to hold at test, and we have to wait about 10 seconds or so just to make sure that green light stays on. So that looks good to me. So we're going to go now with our standby battery to arm. That's going to put some power into the aircraft. Standby battery is arm. Engine indicators, once they turn on, we're going to look for those. We're going to check the bus voltage on E and M. And we're going to make sure that our standby battery is discharging. So we're looking for any red X on the engine. No, that's all good. They're all the sensors basically telling us what's happening. So we look at our electrical bus. So we have nothing on the main. On the essential bus, 24.8, we need 24. And amps are discharging. All is looking good there. We also have our standby battery annunciator showing. It says it here, standby battery. So beacon light is going to come on. Prop area is going to be clear, and then we're going to put on our master switch for our battery and our altitude. We'll also make sure that our flap handle is in the up position. Battery 1 and alternator now coming on, and we shall say clear prop, and fuel pump is now going to go to on. Mixture we're going to go fully rich. Small bit of prime here as well. Fuel pump comes off. Mixture, it wants it on idle cutoff. So we'll do it their way. So we're going to say right, left, both. Quick look outside the aircraft. All should be well. We'll give this a turn, and then we'll add in some mixture, right? All right, we got a good start on the engine. Oil pressure within 30 to 60 seconds is going to come up into the green. Oil pressure is already there. Oil temperature will pick up itself. We should now see a charging indication on our amps, which it is. Main bus is working. Low volts not shown. We've nothing here for low voltage. And then we're going to go avionics bus 1 and 2 and see how we get on with this. All right. So a couple of things we can do right now. 1030 is set. We're going to use the autopilot to give me a hand today. We're going to set an initial 4,500 feet, right? That's what it wants. And we're going to make sure that our heading indicator is lined up, which it is. Nav lights can come on. Taxi light can come on. Fuel pump don't need for the moment, right? And the direction of flight here, we're going to be taxiing. We're going to taxi Bravo Alpha and depart out of runway 10. So we'll be turning around to the side. We'll also go ahead and turn on our transponder. We're VF4, so go ahead and stick that to on. 7,000 is the code. Quick look around the aircraft, make sure everything is doing what it should. It looks good. So our taxi routing, let's have a quick check on our taxi. Off apron Bravo, right turn onto November. We're going to come down here by Alpha. We have a run-up area, and then it's going to be runway 10 departure. So that's what we're going to do. Alright? So, let's do the thing with the yoke with the thing. We're going to come off the brakes. Small bit of power. Look left and right is good. We're going to use differential braking just to make sure our brakes are working, and they are working. And let's ramble on here. Flaps, we'll set our flaps after a while. We'll wait until we're lining up, right? So we're approaching November here. Left is clear, right is clear. I've taken me runners off just in case. I got a new pair of Skechers, was I telling you? They're lovely. So we'll taxi on out. They're memory foam Skechers, look. Ew. You know, very fancy. They're very comfortable. Skechers they're just deadly. But anyway, I digress. Right, so we're taxiing here now on November. Then we'll do our before takeoff test. That's going to be our run-up area, so we'll do all that now in a moment. Also with our fuel, important, we can see that we have about 22 gallons on board. 24 gallons. Should be enough. It's a relatively short flight anyway, so should be grand. Hey, Johnny Mon is here. Good to see you. Cracker, hope you're well. And what a day for flying. Isn't it beautiful out there? Gorgeous. Memory foam. Then you forget where you left them. Exactly. Exactly. So our main thing here, lads, is just making sure we stay accurate, and we got to be careful of our altitude as well. And because we're messing with altitude, well, we need to be figuring out what we're doing in relation to our mixture. So we need to be keeping an eye on these things, right? So we're on November, keep her going, and then we'll do our run up, and then we're going to be blasting off. I tend to do my flight control tests usually before we're moving, but I feel free and correct. What a cracker of a day, man. Alrighty, left turn coming in. And we're just going to do a quick run up here. Alrighty then. So, brakes set. Flight controls, we've just checked those. No red boxes on our instruments. Standby altimeter set. 1300, 1320 set. Mixture fully rich. Fuel selector boat. Trim set for takeoff. Trim is set for takeoff. Engine instruments should be in the green. Annunciators we're not showing. Throttle, we're going to bring it up to 1800 RPM. And we're going to go for a mag test, so we'll go over to the right mag. There's a drop of about 90, back to both. She regains. Left mag, drop of about 90, back to both. Engine idle, make sure it doesn't cut out. We're good. Flaps, if we need them for takeoff, we'll go ahead and set them. Departure briefing, well, we're taking off runway 10, and we're going to follow the pattern, carry out our tests, then we're going to be departing to the northwest, and it's going to be over Echo, so that's what we're doing, alright? So, we're going to line up and get ourselves ready to rock here. So, left is looking good, small bit of power, go ahead and put our landing lights, strobe lights come on, and we're going to check our approach is clear, our departure leg is clear, and let's see what happens. Onto the runway we go. Northeast, northeast, not northwest. Man Malky. See, that's why Malky's here, just to keep us in tune. You know what I mean? Alrighty, easy now, easy now. So, let me see, a couple of waypoints, then we're up and away, and all should be well in the realm. Okay, are we ready, sports fans? So, walking, talking, soon to be squawking. Let's go flying. Alright, there's our takeoff power set. Applying a small bit of rudder. Airspeed live. We're going for an initial 4,500 feet climb, right? There's 50 knots, 55. Yupsie daisy. We're flying. We're going to pitch for 74 knots. Looking good. Fly the runway heading. Coming up on 300 feet. Quick check, mixture's fully rich. Throttle's okay. RPM, everything's in the green. ride. Alright, coming up now on 500 feet. We're going to be making a left turn here now, just off the base of the pattern. That's going to be a left 90-degree turn as we continue to climb. Easy now, Jemima. Okay, left turn coming in. Altitude's climbing nicely. Watch our speed and also our bank angle. Okay, roll out. We're still climbing. Everything so far so good. So we'll be making use of the autopilot. Quick check back on the runway. All is looking well. And we're going to start our turn now and head her on out. So waypoint E is just where the base of that kind of inlet is. That's what we're looking for, yeah? So again, we just want to pitch our altitude. We want to get into a better climb here. Easy now. A little bit fast. We'll keep our climb here. Like, we want to be climbing at kind of best speed here as well. So far so good, right? Alright, go ahead, bring some heading into this. And once we get to point E, we're aiming for 4,500 feet. Galactic Kremlin, good to see you, buddy. Do I use my AP9 at all? Yeah, it's on me rig. It's on me rig. Easy now, 4,000 feet. Keep her climbing. $500 feet to go. Looking good. And then once we get into our cruise, we can calm everything down, right? Alright, coming up on 4,500. There is 4,500. Okay, let's level off. There's our cruise altitude. Our speed is going to come up. We're going to set cruise power. Our visual reference point, that's that little island. So we're in and around Echo. We're not perfectly close to it, but we're not far off it. So we're going to call it 2300 on the RPM. And just get ourselves tidied up here a little bit. Autopilot settings. Heading. Alt. Go ahead and lock that in. Okay, next there's going to be a heading roughly 078 degrees as we head around the way. I'm going to start leaning some mixture here now as well. So as I'm reducing the mixture, we can see our RPM should be climbing, which it is. There's 290, there's 280, there's 290. So we'll just go a little bit further in, and that's us now sorted. Landing light, taxi light coming off. And 078 is the heading. Kubi, good to see you, buddy. Galactic, yeah, the AP9 is very good, man. I use it mainly for helo flying on the rig. Very good, man. It's friggin' awesome. Alright, so quick check now. So we are looking at cruise power is set. Mixture as required for best power. Well, slightly rich. Lights have now been turned off. Airspeed is looking good. And about 21 nautical miles on a heading of 078, give or take. And we're well on our way. Savage views, man, isn't there? Okay. As we continue on, Whale Lake is fine, and then Egg Lake's 4,500. Then at Forgansea, that's where we're going to be climbing again, right? So far so good. No extra challenge with ATC, which is, you know, Alien Blood. Yeah. So 078, I just want to get myself kind of where I should be kind of tracking. Bit of a lazy turn heading in. A Boxman is here. Good to see you, buddy. Happy Thursday, man. So far, so good. Just gorgeous views, isn't there? Look at that. What a gorgeous part of the world. Looking good. Temps, pressures, everything's in the green. Fuel quantity is okay. Now, you can also check in on your exhaust gas temperature. That's another way for it's another way for like finding your correct mixture, right? Well, you know, I'm happy enough where we are now. 4,500 feet. We have ourselves, we have our mixture set correctly. And now we're looking for our first visual reference point, and it's Whale Lake. So we're still about 20 miles out from it, right? Yeah, the G1000 also has a lean fine function. So we can go by what cylinder head or what cylinder we want, right? It's always going to pick you the hottest. So the hottest is, well, number 4 according to this. Now there's an assistant here, so it's going to tell us, right, peak is number 4, right? So roughly there. There's a lot of cool systems with the G1000. Who remembers Andrus Fields from FSX? Yeah, man, yeah. Class, right? So 21 miles on a heading of 078. So we can actually go in and have a look at this flight here now on our map. And we can track this on Garmin Pilot here as well, which I'll do a bit of both. She ain't tracking. Why aren't you tracking? 86 is what the machine wants. There she is. And there she is. Okay, we keep plodding on. Again, I'm starting to see the lake up here, and we can kind of dip into this valley here a little bit as well. But at the moment, lads, we're absolutely tickety-boo as we ramble across. This is very pretty, isn't it? Gorgeous. Bit of chase plane. bit of flow. All right. This is very pretty. Speed is good. Temps and pressures are good. We're looking good. In their infinite wisdom, Asobo managed to break the lean fine on the stock Bonanza. Really? Like that would ever happen. That'd never happen. Are you mad? Okay, here's Whale Lake. Just kind of head around into the valley a little bit. Just mind the high ground beside us. That's where we're kind of visually just navigating around. And remember, knowing where the wind direction is coming from, because that will impact on our aircraft how the wind is moving. So our first waypoint, Whale Lake. This is a custom waypoint that we've put in. And well, we're pretty much bang on where we need to be right now. Man, what a day for flying, isn't it? Gorgeous. That view is a bit strange. Why is it doing that now? That's the ticket right there. What number are you? You're number 8. Do. Save. Alright. Small little course corrections just to help us out. You only found when you upgraded from the 172 when you started on air. No way, man. Yeah, strange, isn't it? So Whale Lake, and then it's going to be Egg Lake. Or Egg Lakes. Which is further up this neck of the woods. I think I can kind of see them from here already, look. Right? But we'll see. We'll keep an eye on it. Let's see. Interesting. Right, Egg Lake coming up. I'll do stuff over here. Never a dull moment, is there? Right. Email. Navigraph really are a great bunch of lads. Yeah, Dougal, isn't it brilliant, man? It's brilliant. Right, so hang on. Send. Do. Copy. Compose. Paste. Copy. Paste. And then copy and paste. Right. The things you do. The things you do. Right, boom. Multitasking like a muppet. It's what we do, lads. It's what we do. Right, where are we looking for? Egg Lake. So we're about to overfly our waypoint here at Whale Lake, right? It is looking absolutely gorgeous. We're directly over it. So now it's going to be we kind of maintain our course here. 073 is what she wants, but like, we're not far off it. Again, keeping an eye on the terrain. 15 miles is this one until we get up to Egg Lakes. So we'll ramble on. Whale Lake, isn't that beautiful, isn't it? Look at that. Look at the state of that, lads. Where would you get it? Jesus. Stunning. I'm looking forward to the other lessons Navigraph have. Like the IF4 stuff is going to be class. Because, like, you know, there's always scope. There's always scope, you know. Let's see. Temps pressure's good. Mixture. There she goes. So 073 is what it's looking for. Eddie is here. Good to see you, buddy. Welcome aboard. So just watch for this mountain over there, but we should be grand. Now we're going to be climbing then after a little while. So Egg Lake and then Forgansea, then we climb up to 7,500. So we want to watch for that, right? And right now, I mean, look at those. Look at the Alps, man. Beautiful. It's a stunning part of the world to go flying in. Like, look at the detail on the ground, lads. Isn't it stunning? Imagine doing this flight in real life over here. State of it. Okay, so that was 15 miles out. I think I see them. Is there a noticeable difference between 2020 and 2024? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 2024, man, it's... Well, people are saying, for some, the ground textures might appear sharper in 2020. I don't have that. I mean, everything to me is sharp in 2024. It loads faster. It's a better sim. 2020 is still grand and all, but like 24 is where it's at, man. Hey, Tarnish, good to see you. Can you have a whale of a time at Whale Lake and a cracking one at Egg Lake? Yes, Tarnish. That is precisely what it is we're going to do. 100%. So far, so good. Jeez, the view is unbelievable, isn't it? It's only gorgeous. So once we get to Forgansea, we're about pretty much halfway through. We're halfway through this run, right? But we should be grand. Max is here. Good to see you, buddy. Welcome in. Yeah, give it a shot, Alien Blood. It's. I love it, man. 24, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. It's fantastic. Do you know? Now let's have a look. Deedly 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 dee. So yeah, so with the new stand that we're making, it's actually going to drop the size of this MCU down about 2 centimeters, because it's actually it's too high. It's exactly 2 centimeters too high. It's not a major problem, but I've lost like the very bottom 2 centimeters of the screen, so I just need to lower it down, and I have a bit of headroom from the Corsair Xenon, you know. I'm expecting to receive that Gallen keyboard tomorrow. Ooh! Expect a hardware review next week. Looking forward to that. Right. That lake looks correct on my map. And then Egg Lake is going to be up here, I'd say. Viper Strike, good to see it. Not sure if the add-ons will carry over. Some of them you need to pay for an upgrade, Alien Blood, if they're 2024. Some of them you have to. Unfortunately. But yeah, Viper Strike, good to see you, buddy. Hope all is well.
Good nooning.
Let me see here now. Let me see. Hey, Giant is here. Good to see you. Good day from Minnesota. Pre-work Murph for coffee is a vibe. Good morning. Pre-work coffee. And then looking at this age. Brilliant. How do you take your coffee? Just wouldn't mind a cup of coffee now, actually. It's almost time for, well, I tend not to drink coffee when we're here, unless, like, I'm jaded and it's early morning. But a cup of coffee now, that'd be a vibe, wouldn't it? Need to get myself a cup of coffee, but I won't do it now. And sent. I wonder, did they block me? Emails all over the shop, lads. Right. We want to keep Egg Lake on our left, so wind that high terrain on our right. Oh jeez, look at the Alps coming in here now, look. Gorgeous. Is that it there? That looks like it there. Egg Lake. And there's the other one, then we'll be making a bit of a right turn. This is it, lads, yeah. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Been on the fence about buying 2024. You have 2020. Is there a noticeable difference overall? Oh yeah, man, there is. Like, look at 2024 is the better sim. It loads faster. The detailing is unbelievably brilliant, right? As in the ground detail. The aircraft we're getting now, it's class. 24 is class. There's a couple of bugs still here and there, but I still think it's better. The loading time alone, you know. QC Frank is here. Good to see you. Nothing better than awaking to your stream and the song of your voice. The song of my voice. Good morning. Hope you're well. Bum bum bottom. Bum bum bottom. Egg Lake. Darcy B here now. Any tweaking needed with the Honeycomb Alpha and Bravo? No, shouldn't be. Multiplayer needs sorted? Well, yeah. But that's the same on 20 as well. Egg Lake. So from here, lads, it's going to be a right turn. 108 degrees. Let's have a quick look out the window. Our next waypoint, there should be a small little lake and then a big massive lake. There's a small little lake and there's a big massive lake. So we're going the right way. We also want to be starting to plan, you know, heading up to about 7,500. So we'll throw in a right turn, 108 degrees. Easy. Easy. MP Troll, I don't need sorting. Okay, so let's climb at this. Let me see. V-speed up. Add in a bit of power. And remember, we gotta be watching our mixture here as well, right? Your Mosey Yoke got in yesterday? Nice, man. Let me see now. Uh, 94 knots, we're climbing like a devil. Do 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 do. many hours do you have in a 172? In the sim? Oh, Jesus, a long time. Real world? Officially 6. Unofficially... Jesus. Unofficially? Probably 60. Yeah, probably about 60. I bet that. Like 8 trips, 4 hours, 8, yeah. Plus me own, plus, yeah, man. They're cool. Right, 5.5. We can probably climb this a little bit higher here, will we? 700 is the ideal climb. So Forgan C, I'll dip down to the right here a bit because I want that to be out my window to the left, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Bum bum bottom. Bum bum bottom bottom bum. Okay, we got 1,500 feet to go. Now our RPM, this is where it gets interesting. As we're getting higher, we're going to lean out this mixture a bit. So far, so good. CJR, yeah, it's a gorgeous plane, man. Massacre, good to see you, buddy. We're working away on our Navigraph Academy. Sanford is on, right? I'd be humming and hawing to myself the whole time, lads. Right, climbing nicely, almost 1,000 feet to go. Forgan C. I mean, that's it there, right? What autopilot? What autopilot is it? In the Cessna? Standard Garmin? Right, so from Forgan C, it's over to the to Twin Peaks. Over to Twin Peaks. So we're at 6.5. We've got 1,000 feet to go. And then it's 7 nautical miles out to Twin Peaks. That's a heading of 090, which is going to be out over here. Which I imagine it's in here somewhere. So we'll keep climbing. In real life, on the tablet. Is that what you mean, Massacre? Okay, left 090. If you can kill as much kinetic energy as possible, you can ball up 172 and walk away. Alright. Easy now. 090, we're looking for 2470. Lean her out. We should be back up at around the 25s. Ish. There we go. Alright, we're closing in. 100 feet to go. Oh, the Boeing in front of me, sorry. That's the wind control MCU for the Boeing. Savage. We'll be using that later on in our flight. Okay, the heading here looks good. We're about to level off at 7,500. Get our speed back up. We're going to reduce our power back to 1,300. And we're back into the cruise. Sorry, to 2,300. There we go. Now let's double check our mixture settings. There's 23, 29, 28, 29, 28. I'll do it. Right. Twin Peaks, 7,500 feet is what where we need to be at. Seven or 7.5. Be the Janie Murphy, I think 7. Oh, we could get in trouble for this. Drop her down there an extra 500 feet there quickly. We'll say nothing to no one. It was 7,000. CJR, thanks very much, man. Great to have you here, buddy. Great to have you here. I've 8 emails inbound. 7 of them I need to act on. 1 of them I just need to, yeah, I got it. Right. Office time with Murphy. What do you do next, Murphy? Well, I draw on some paper with pictures. Alright, then what you do? I've no phone here as in like a landline. But sure, who'd be ringing? Hello, Two-Tone Murphy? Yes. That's right. How can we help you today? What? That'd be weird, wouldn't it? We'll end up with like some sort of a studio, no doubt, over time, you know. And what services do you provide? Oh, very important services, you know. Right, here's 7,000 again. This is better. Look at the views, man. Jesus, look at the state. Right, Twin Peaks, and then it's over to Walchensee. Now, that near pipe and smoke it. Heading 090 is okay. Then it's going to be slightly left 085, but we'll keep an eye on this terrain just to see what we're doing, right? Man, that looks pretty, doesn't it? Jesus, that looks amazing. The hills are alive with the sound of... Brilliant. Are my sim sounds a bit low today? Did I forget to turn the shanking things up? Yeah, 40%, Murphy, you big muppet. See, that's why, you know, buttons escape me. I wonder, should I... Hang on. Let's see if that works. The Echo 19 sounds are deadly. Yeah, they really are, man. They really are. Today, Twin Peaks, small left turn, 085 in the heading. Oh man, this is gorgeous. Like, and that's the thing about 24, the detail you get on mountains, absolutely savage. Savage. Now, at what stage do we descend? You know what I mean? So at Twin Peaks, 7,000. Walchensee. So it's after November 1, we start descending down to 3,500 feet. And then at India, it's at 2,900 feet. Right, that makes total sense. Their altitudes are very interesting. Makes sense, but it's interesting. Right. Ba-da-ba-da-bum-bum. So far so good. 085 in the heading. Small bit of windage. Make sure our altimeter is set correctly. Engine 2270. 2280. We're leaned correctly. Let us see what happens. The bridge at the river, that's further on down. That's down at November 2 into Whiskey 2. So Whiskey 2, I think, is the bridge itself, Linny, yeah. So far, so good. Walchensee. Yeah, our routing is good. Everything so far is good. Whoa! Welcome in, Raiders! Sid, Squadron, and Tony, thank you very much indeed, buddy. Hope you're well. Hope you had an awesome stream, lads. How did that A340 go? You're here, you're joining us, lads. We're doing the Navigraph Academy. This is a free course that you can do. No subscription needed. and they take you through a virtual PPL course, right? And they teach you lots. So this is the second last lesson of it. We're doing it cross country. We took off out of St. Gallen and we're flying into Innsbruck. But welcome in, everybody. A very happy Thursday. Tony, thank you very much indeed, buddy. Enjoy. You're off tomorrow, is that what you said? And then you're back in tomorrow, and you're back in Saturday. The A340, isn't it gorgeous? You should fly the VIP variant of it. Or maybe you did, but it's savage. The A340 is one of my favourites.
Hello there.
You know. Ricardo, thank you very much indeed for the follow. Fire Drake, welcome in, buddy. Thanks for the follows, lads. Yeah, the VIP is so good. It's so good. Welcome in. Twisted Secret, welcome in. Happy Canada Day. Is it Canada Day? Sideways is here, thanks for the follow. So, what we're doing here, we're in an old Cessna 172, right? Flying across the Alps. And we have put in this flight plan. It's visual flight rules, and these are all visual reference points. And there's altitude kind of restrictions at some of the waypoints because, well, you've high terrain left and right. So our next waypoint here is Walchensee, in which then we're going to hang right, head to the south, and then we're doing the VF4 approach following November, Whiskey, India, and Mike, all the way into Innsbruck itself. This is going to be absolutely gorgeous, you know. So that's what we're doing. Because we're also flying at altitude, well, we need to watch things like our mixture, right? Our air and fuel mixture. So far so good, right? Kiwi, thank you very much indeed for the follow. Commander Carney is here. Not available on Xbox, so watch your training, then play on Xbox without the feedback. Yeah, so it's on... Wait, it's not on Xbox. It should be. You can get Navigraph on Xbox, I thought, with some aircraft. Canada Day is July 1st. Interesting. Nice area. Crazy Pete, it's gorgeous, man. Nidge B, good to see you, bud. Hope you're well. Okay, so Walchensee, that's that big lake up at the road here, look. Now, as we're flying kind of direct towards the mountain, we'll do a small bit of editing here. We'll go left a little bit. You need this subscription for Xbox Navigraph? Ah. Well, okay, you can still access all of the course material, right? You're still going to learn from it. You can do the same on X-Plane as well. But it's very good, man. It teaches you enough that you can apply this to other aircraft. They haven't got an Xbox. I imagine they will at some stage, but like you can still follow the course and do the flights. Exactly what you're doing. You know. A340 has a lot of potential. Only problem with it is they won't give you one. Johnny, it's a great plane, man. If you were to say, Murph, you know, would you fly the A340 or the A350? I'd probably go with the A340. I just prefer the plane, you know. I think it's class. It is absolutely class, so it is. So for the final phase of this flight, this is where we want to start thinking about our approach, right? So we're going to be heading south to do this approach into Innsbruck. So as we turn south, once we get to November 1, these are all the little towns and villages on the way in. And we got a couple of visual reference points, just like tons of forested area, roads, rail, power lines. There's a little kind of a lake down here as well. Whiskey 2, that's actually a bridge over the Inn River. We can follow that. And then we just head on down by India. Again, visual reference points for there. We're going to look for this windy road going into the mountains. And then we're going to be following down the side of the airport, a beam to runway 26. And then we'll be dropping in for a full stop landing. So far so good, lads. Looking terribly, terribly nice. Bottom. What are your plans for today, lads? Is June flying? Is it night time? Is it only starting? What's all happening? So there is, oh man, look at that lake. Look at that, man. Jesus. Beautiful, isn't it? So we're going to be turning down this neck of the woods. See the roads and all this? That's the route we're heading in. Down there to the right. 2 kids Highland dancing tonight. City Skylines now. Oh, good woman. City Skyline, it's such a jam. I mean, you just forget about the world for a while, you know. Oh, the simulator's horror. You know, there's a fire. Oh no! We don't have enough electricity. Oh no! And then you go into like, I'll build an airport. You can't get away from it. David Bay, school running a bit, then hopefully VatSim with us tonight. Nice. Yeah, we have a double header tonight. Looking forward to that one. It's going to be San Diego over to Palm Springs, and then Palm Springs back into Ontario in California. That's going to be fun. 8:22 a.m. in Ohio. 5 degrees Fahrenheit. Don't go outside, Commander Carney. Just, you know, it's not worth it. Just stay inside. Stay inside. Have coffee, you know. So we're going to be heading out this way. And then the crack is going to start. So, what was our heading? The 186. Let's horse it in now. Right turn coming in. Beautiful. Legion, good to see you. When you're next flying in Australia, let me know, and the Impulse Simulation team will give you some airports to give away. Oh, nice, buddy. It's good to see you, man. We'll have to plan a flight in Australia soon. Right. We're looking good here now. And we don't need to worry about altitude just yet. Just keep away from, like, the big, massive mountains, right? Because once we get down, November 2 is when we start our descent. So wait until we get November 2. We're now heading towards November 1, right? Now what we can do, we're going to say it's going to be 2,900 feet. So we'll pop that in and we'll keep an eye on it, right? Legion, doing good, man. Busy, but in a good way. Everything's kind of flat out, you know? But yeah, it's all good, man. So much content, so little time. Do you know that kind of a way? This approach is going to be absolutely stunning. I mean, look at like the road. Is that a road? The road's got up the mountains, look. Madness. Madness. Good to be busy, right? Hey, Two Dogs, good to see you, man. Welcome aboard. Now, is it City Skylines 1 or City Skylines 2? I like City Skylines 2, but like, you know, it can be fierce buggy. Fierce buggy. Skylines 2, nice. Yeah, it's good. Okay, so far so good. November 1 is about 8 miles from here. We're still good and high. We can probably go a little bit lower if we wanted to, but we're okay. You're hooked on Planet Coaster. Oh, do you remember Planet Coaster? That was great. I've streamed nearly 10 hours a day for the last week making scenery for the sim. Whoa. Streaming and making scenery, dude? That's nuts. He's putting in the grind. Imagine living out here, lads, though. You know, it'd be a divil in the wintertime, but like in the summertime. Could you imagine? Make sure our barrow is set as well. You've been streaming the scenery making, showing everyone what's involved. That's awesome, man. What a great insight. Does this plane go inverted? It does, but we're not going to do that, Mrs. GPHI, because we're being, you know, we're under instruction. It's all lessons, you see. Any plane can be inverted, you know. Hopefully inspiring others to give it a shot. Yeah, man, I love that. That's awesome. Scenery building, like, it ain't easy. And like, it depends how much detail you want to go into, and then like your challenge is the more you want to add in, but you want to keep it lean for performance. Totally get it, man. Okay, we're looking good. Keep away from that big mountain, that'll hurt. We can already see the next kind of village on the way out. And then we'll start planning our descent here. So mixture and all the jazz, we're still looking good. Let's bring up our descent checklists. So mixture, altimeter, standby altimeter, and then our procedure. Before landing, then we'll put on our lights. Alright. That'll be grand. Have you seen our recent few photos? I interacted with them, a few of them in the past. I'm not quite sure. Send us now a link though, and I'll definitely check them out, buddy. Okay. So that's... Well, looking at this, that's November 1 down here. And then November 2 is around the corner. I'm surprised we're so high coming in here. Isn't it pretty? On Discord, if you can, Legion. Concorde went inverted during structural integrity testing. That would have been some sight. Really? As in like a barrel roll or that? Well, aileron roll, I suppose. Man alive, that's pretty. Your neighbours could be big into yodeling. They would. There'd be fierce yodeling up here. Ski slopes and everything, man. Yodel, 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 yodel. Yeah, yodeling. It's a pastime, I have to say, I haven't spent much time at. Should be grand. Okay, all is well in the realm. So November 1, we're approaching. Double barrel roll, that's nuts. So here's November 1, this area right here. Then we head on to the right a bit. There's November 2, then we start our descent. A double barrel roll though, that's mad, isn't it? Jesus. Isn't that just a cool sight, isn't it? Ah, okay, you no worries at all, Legion. Oh yeah, I don't know, man. Depends when it was. I'm a devil for that. I'm the sort of fella you need to keep reminding. You know, Murphy, would you do that thing? Oh, God, I will, yeah. No, Murph, will you do it? Oh, that's right. But yeah, we'll check it out. The hills could be alive with the sound of music. Those pesky Von Trapp kids singing all day. Do. Right, November 2. In you go, you big Jesse. Rambling on. Okay. The things are going to start happening very fast here. Beautiful scenery, man. That's a great view there, isn't it? Jeez, it's very cinematic or something. I'll turn away the wheel here now. That's actually... See the way I didn't... You see, if you don't zero the things, they look weird. It's a hard-mounted camera. Action cam number 5. Get in there now, hey. Right. Brilliant. Right, speed is good. Temperatures, pressures, good. Fuel, good. Alright. So, November 2... will V-speed at a rate of about 700 feet a minute. Ease off the power as we do it. Easy now. And remember, we want to be adding in a bit of mixture as we're planning this as well, right? So, Whiskey 2 is going to be over a bridge, which is just around the corner here. So we want to watch our speed as we're doing this as we descend. So everything's fairly well controlled right now. Bum. Just do a little bit of a right turn, just intercept it, and I can keep my eye out the window of where we're going. So Whiskey 2 is where the bridge is going to be over this way. Is it that way? Yeah, I think it is. That's friggin' gorgeous, man, isn't it?
Hello there.
Hello there. Swap, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're well. Okay, continue to descend. We'll throw in a bit of a turn here. We're going to head down now to Whiskey. Speed is good, 6,000. You think Concorde pilot training was operated out of Shannon? Ooh, nice. Okay, we're going to see the in-river here, and then returning at the bridge when we see the bridge, right? We should have been probably over this side a bit more. But we're still okay. Man, this is friggin' gorgeous, look. Bottom. Bit too early for Whiskey, right? No, Sharon, good to see it. There's the bridge. We spotted the bridge. A small little course correction. Then at the bridge, it's over to India, so we're looking for that mad road going up the mountains, which is actually, that's it over there, look. Right? Hayden UK, good to see you, Hayden. Welcome in, man. Hope you're well. Alright, there's our bridge just here. We're directly over that bridge. Excellent. Okay, right, 119er. Left 119er, Murphy. Roughly there. Altitude, looking good. Sumner, good to see you, bud. A very happy Thursday. Okay, so we're descending nicely. That is the in-river. This is gorgeous looking, man. We're holding on to about 90 knots as we descend. And we're looking for India, which is kind of over this built-up area. And then it's over to Mike 3 for the pattern. Very nice. Ultra speed here. Looking good. Oh man, I like. Isn't that a view? Look, isn't it? That's savage, man. Gorgeous. Our speed is looking good. This road up the mountains. There'll be a church, and this waypoint is India. From India, it's going to be a left-hand turn, and it's over to Mike. We should have the airport. There's the airport. Right? And we're parking over this neck of the woods. It's all coming together. Just watch our altitude here. Don't go in too low. Good. Ah, Gibbo, good to see you, buddy. Happy Thursday, man. How's she cutting, man? Right, so far so good. We're doing a landing into Innsbruck in an LSZR. This is very pretty. So I don't want to descend too further. Six Nations, yeah, and it's on tonight, Gibbo. Only realised that. I was like, I'm flying on VatSim tonight. That was a rookie mistake. But yeah, looking forward to it, buddy. Who are we up against tonight? Is it Italy or France? It's Italy, I think, isn't it? Okay, we need to watch once we come over this terrain. Oh, it's France in Paris. Oh, Jesus. Right, so here's India. Let's plan then 083. Alright, we're at 3,500 feet coming in. And then let's just wait until we clear some of this terrain. It's like 2,900 feet. I mean, yeah, we can drop it down, but that would put us proper low. I'd say we're nearly too low right now. They'd need snorkels if it was here, right? Murph, just leave your plane on autopilot tonight, you'd be grand. Yeah. 100% Dougal. Right, lads, she's all set up. I'm away now, and sure, I'll see you at half time. I just need someone to look after the ATC for me. But you lads would be able to do that, wouldn't you? Yeah, Murph, no prob. Right, let me see. Before landing, I'm going to keep that 2,900 feet for our last bit of a jazz here, right? 3.5. I don't know what they're going to give out to me. I mean, I should be really 1,000 feet above ground level, but we'll see. So, before landing checklist, get our lights on, mixture fully rich. Speed is looking okay. And we're going to head down to Mike, then we're going to drop her down, and then we'll be parking it. So, airport is coming into sight, which is looking gorgeous. Zulu is the taxiway over to the general aviation ramp. And again, we're just going to wait until we're kind of abeam. This is absolutely stunning. More cowbell Cody, good to see you, man. Hope all is well. Is it still lashing rain in Dublin, Gibbo? Was it? The weather here today has been crap. It's lashing rain here, look. Jesus. It's raining sideways. Looking forward to the Baron flight on Friday. Yes. It's going to be loads of fun. Okay, slow her down, Murph. We're pretty much abeam at where we want to be at, which is over there. So speed coming down. Mixture fully rich. Lights are on. Wait until we get to around Mike. Speed is looking okay. Ish. Dee. Wind's picking up pretty strong. Rain due. Orange warning. Oh, jeez. Gibbo, you have my permission. Go straight back to bed. Dear employer, please note, Gibbo's gone back to bed for the safety and well-being of his health and safety well-being, right? An orange weather warning for wind and rain. Jesus. Stupid weather. There's the ski jump thingy, look. Ah, brilliant. Okay, we're about to approach Mike. And then we'll be dropping the old altitude down a little bit. Autopilot off. Left turn coming in. Easing off the power a bit. Looking good. Start descending. First notch of flaps. And we're going to say about 2,900 feet as we descend here. Easy now. Easy. Watch the speed. Good. Little high, but we'll fix all this. Currently 40-mile-an-hour winds here. Jesus. It's a bit brisk out there. Alright, flight director's off. Watch your speed. Alright, there's 2,900 feet. That is the glide. Speed is around 70 knots. That's looking good. And start a turn. What's your speed, Murph? Easy now. Little low. 74 knots. Second notch of flaps. Easy bit of trim. Let's correct ourselves here. There we go. Keep ourselves on the straight and narrow. Just get those pappy back to where they need to be. We're a little bit below. Man, look at that view, look. Jesus. Alright, we're on the glide slope now. Descending via the glide slope. Ease off this power. We go flaps 30. Counter the tendency for the nose up. Watch your speed. Keep it around 70 knots. We could make this, we could make Zulu, but if not, we'll just do a back taxi. It won't mind. There we go. A little bit slow coming in, but we're alright. So far, so good. It looks just like Roscommon. Yeah, doesn't it? Looks like Boyle in Roscommon. Yes. Alright, there's our touchdown zone. Speed is coming down nicely. Want to be about 61 over the threshold. Easy now. Okay, watch for the centre line.
Dreamy, sleepy, nighty snooze.
Watch the flare. Hold the nose. The timing of that, though. There's a touch. 36 will take that. Who was that? Mr. Minimite, you're a devil. Small bit of braking. We'll make Zulu. Ish. We won't brake too hard. Alrighty. The timing of that was brilliant. Okay, over to Zulu. Easy now. Okay, clear the runway. Flaps coming in. And we'll just get ourselves parked up. No hit and now Murph. Alright. Alright. Parking brakes on. Landing and then shut down. So to descend before, after landing checklist, all is good. So parking brake is on, throttle idle. Electrical equipment coming off. Buses are off. And let me see. Mixture. Mags off. Standby and batteries. So the rest of our lights, batteries. And that, my friends, is that flight. I wonder, did we pass? Let's find out. So, end the flight. Do. Now, what does Navigraph have to say about this, you ask? Well, where is it? It's over here. So, lesson in progress. We shall wait and see. That was a lovely flight, though, wasn't it? That was a gorgeous flight. Absolutely stunning. So it was. Right. So, this will take a few minutes just for Navigraph to kind of pick it up, and then hopefully then we get a grade or some sort of feedback to say you did well or no, you made a complete and utter muck of it. I don't think we'll fail it. I'd be surprised. I got my altitude wrong at 7,500. I should have been at 7. Probably won't like that. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Right? We could be very lucky here. Or, you know, we'll be very unlucky here. Josh, got those? Cheers, buddy. View analysis. Are we ready? We got 100% gear up the hill, and is not only brilliant, we nailed it. We absolutely nailed it. Whale Lake, perfect. Egg Lakes, perfect. Forgan Sea, perfect. Twin Peaks, perfect. Wachensi, November, Whiskey, India, Mike, and then final. Yeah, we absolutely nailed it. I'm delighted about that. That was a gorgeous flight, though, wasn't it? Wasn't it great? 100%, lads. It was friggin' great. 100%? Brilliant. If only me teachers could see me now. You know, yes, Murph, well done, you big muppet. That was a really nice flight. So our departure, you can see it here, look. So our departure, out and about. Then we headed across. We did our climb. We came in this way. Small little back taxi. To be honest, we probably would have made that, but I didn't want to go too aggressive on the brakes, you know. Still think Murph rigged it. Yeah, true. Right. The final part, and we're going to be doing this next week. You've made it. After extensive training, you've built the skills to fly confidently, to plan routes with care, and to handle your aircraft in every situation we've thrown at you. Now it's time for your final test. It's a cross-country solo over to Zurich. Ooh. This time we're on our own. There's no instructor beside you, no video briefing, no step-by-step prompts. Instead, we're going to draw on everything that we've learned so far. How to read the charts, pick our waypoints, choose altitudes, times, legs, and handle our aircraft. To plan and fly the route yourself. There's a handful of visual checkpoints will have to be crossed. Beyond that, the flight is entirely in your hands. Ooh, okay. So they want us to intercept a couple of different waypoints on this, which is fine. Oh man, we can add as many or as few. So we're going to do that next week, and that's the last. That is the final part of this Navigraph Academy. Brilliant. Looking forward to that. That's going to be great crack. Right, lads, so that concludes our flight training for today. We now going to go over and have a quick look at what our flight is going to be tonight for our Navigraph Thursday night flight. Right. So let me see. We're going to go into here. Phoenix to Quezon. We've done that. So it's going to be San Diego to Palm Springs, and then Palm Springs to Ontario. That's what we're doing, right? So does Naughty have a gadget with the thing with the yoke? Let us see. VatSim. VatSim. Here we go. So, here we go. So, let's have a look. Full screen this. So, we have a double leg. We'll be tackling a turnaround as we stop off in Palm Springs before heading to our final destination. And we're going to be leaving San Diego and heading to our first stop of Palm Springs. From there, we're going to head back to Ontario, right? So, Palm Springs International serves as California's Coachella Valley and offers a unique mix of commercial and GA traffic against a backdrop of desert and mountains. Ooh. Interesting fact, it's one of the few US airports where passengers walk outdoors between the gates and aircraft. It's pretty cool. Ontario, California, located on the Inland Empire, or in the Inland Empire, just east of LA, Ontario International offers a calmer alternative to the chaos of LAX. It features long runways, less crowded airspace, and a mix of passenger and heavy cargo traffic. KONT is a major Amazon air hub. Nice. So departure scenery I still have San Diego. Palm Springs, I have it from Bills. And then I didn't load in anything for, whatchamacallit, ONT. We should be grand. Let's go off and have a look at some of these flights, shall we? Because we're going to load the two of them. So we'll look at Simbury first. So Firefly 235. Aircraft is a 737-800. Free is good. It makes the jetways work. Ah, okay. Default isn't too bad. Nice. Thanks, lads. All right. So 55-minute flight out of San Diego, up and over, and then into Palm Springs. So it's an hour's flight, right? So we'll go ahead and generate this. While we're in the sim, let's go ahead and load into San Diego, right? Free flight. We're going to go in our 737. RGB. And we're going to load into San Diego. And we have some troops on the ground. Nice. Now, I was cargo the last time. Where did I parked up here somewhere, didn't I? Oh no, we were down here at the friggin' Terminal 1 and Terminal 2, weren't we? We're probably as well to do from here. So we can park on the ramp. It says gates, but they don't look like gates. Right? We'll go Gate West 1 and see what happens. Kenneth is here. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're well. Right, let me see. So we're going to go live time, live weather. It's 5-ish in the morning, so we'll just bring up the time of day a bit. And what we're doing now, we're testing a couple of things. Making sure the scenery works, making sure the aircraft works, make sure all our hardware is working. Right? So that's what we do first. And lo and behold, well, it looks like it's working. Great news, great news. Give the sim a few moments to think about life. In you go, you big Jesse. 100% CPU usage. Go handy now. Do. Okay, she's all calmed down. Now again, this is using FS Realistic. I think I've dialed this in properly. Bonaldi and Alex have made presets for this. Leave it off for the minute, and we'll worry about it in a moment, right? Wind control needs to be powered up. Yes. And let me see, we'll come down here to the aircraft and we'll connect ourselves with some ground power. Ground power coming in. How did you manage that, Murphy? Okay, ground power is coming in. Your wind control stuff is lit up. That's all looking good. Do you know what else I need to do now, lads? This is where it gets terribly, terribly fancy. I shall grab this shelf thing that I use. Look. Right, hang on. So I need to move these in and out of the way. This. And this goes across. Yes. Is that as close as that goes? That goes in there like that. Tighten up that. Just make sure I'm not like breaking any cables. Wouldn't that be an absolute disaster? I did that before. I put a clamp on my desk, right? And I was tightening it in, not knowing that there was a friggin' cable underneath it. Did I see sparks fly that day? Jesus! Tighten all these in there, good and tight. And I'll show you what it is that I'm doing, lads, right? I want one of those. Ooh. I want one of those. Excellent. I want one of these. Oh, Jesus, we want one of these. This is what we do when we do an airliner flight. It's class, man. the hill. Right, he's up the hill. And you plug into this little jazz gadget here. USB. Yes. And put you in station. Yes. Give it a bit of a nail, you know what I'm saying? Make it look lovely and clean, Murphy. And then we go USB power. And we plug this guy. Murphy's pushing buttons. Take cover. Take cover! Hit the ground! Oh, Jesus, I have to try and plug this into I have a USB adapter under my desk, which I thought was genius. Boop. There we go. Speed brake did. There we go. Right. So what I've done here, I can show you on a camera. Can I show you on this camera? Here I am here, look. I wonder, does this camera work now? This would be great gas if it does. Because I thought I did this the last day, right? Where my cameras are. I think this will work. I'll show you, right? I'm peeking from behind me chair. Yeah, it's the safest bet. What camera is that now? Try the other one. Because I should have saved multiple views. There's that view. There's that view. Right now, did I not have... Bloody hell, Murph. I'll save this view. Is that a decent view now so you can see what's happening, lads? Yeah, that's not bad. Update preset. Okay, so if I go to here, oof, lovely. I go to here, lovely. And go to there. Excellent. Right, that's pretty cool, isn't it? Sometimes my genius, lads. Right, anyway, right, we need to put some power into this machine here, so let's go up on top. We're going to go battery on. We're going to go emergency lights. We're going to go ground power. Logo. That's fully working. FMC. That's working. Excellent. Right, so our hardware is working. That's a good start. Next, we need to do some stuff. So, we have our flight plan. Next, we're going to go to Ventusky. Then we're going to go to VatSim radar. Right. So let's have a look at the weather forecast for this evening. 2000 Zulu. So we're going to be blasting out of San Diego, which is down here. Right. So from San Diego, 22, 23 degrees. Very nice indeed. Up down to Palm Springs. Where's Palm Springs? Prescott, Flagstaff. Where's Phoenix? It's closer than you think. It is, look, there's 29 Palms. Jace, we're up here, so Palm Springs is here, isn't it? Palm Springs, look, Jesus. Right, it is very close. Right, 26 degrees this evening when we get up there. 26, 27 degrees, that's going to be quite nice. Let's have a look at the wind. Wind speed, please. So, ground level, San Diego winds, southerly winds coming in from the southwest, 8 to 10 knots, up to 20 knots. It's going to be, we're going to be departing facing south, right? Although you can't do that in San Diego. Yeah, what's the runway it's given us? Runway 27. Watch the old takeoff, lads. And then when we get up then to Palm Springs, very calm. Very, very calm winds. 4 to 10 knots. Will be runway 27. Yeah. Alright, our cruise altitude along the way. Oh, not too bad. Bit of a tailwind actually on this one, lads. It's windy as the devil, but like we'll get a bit of a tailwind, so that's fine. Cloud conditions. Clouds. San Diego, relatively clear. It's going to be quite cloudy up in Palm Springs. Lots of cloud. What about precip? So we're not expecting rain, but we are expecting some clouds. Right? Short flight, give us a different type of challenge, going straight from departure to arrival. Yeah. Like, this is going to be fast. We're only up and then we're coming down again. Right? Alright. Happy enough with that then, friends. VatSim radar at the moment. KSAM, we got a couple guys on the ground. I'll go ahead and connect. V-pilot. V-pilot. Okie dokie. Okay, we're connected. Dot ZTAF. KSAM. 118.3. We don't see any traffic here. SoCal approach are really cool. Yikes, Murphy. Yikes. Ease the camera, man. Alright, okay, so we got some aircraft here as well. Sweet. SoCal approach are really cool. Flipperalloy, good morning. They're likely to agree to either 1-3 or 3-1 if requested. Okay, yeah, the winds are calm enough, so that's a good sign, right? Alright, let's see what happens. San Diego traffic, Firefly 235, radio check.
555, sir, how many?
5x5, thank you. Man Dougal. Right. Do you know, I'm not mad on the L performance. What did it, Jesus? I'm not mad on the L performance. I don't know what's going on. I might have to clear my L shaders. It's a little bit jittery, isn't it? I'm sure we'll be fine, though. I'm sure we'll be fine. Hey, Chuck, good to see you, buddy. Welcome in. Right, okay, so aircraft looks okay. Scenery looks okay. Hardware is working. Voice is working. And we're getting models imported in as well. Okay, so on the technical front, we're looking good. We've just briefed the weather. So let's go ahead and brief the flight. So, flights, unload, import flight from SimBrief. Let's have a look at this. Relatively short routing. Let's see here now. There we go. Right, so Kaysan departure, lovely. Jetty, so it's the Zizou 4, was that right? Zizou 4, RNAV departure. Out to Jetty, Zizou, max 230, between 6 and flight level 230, grand. Not below 11. And then out we go. This will be VatSim later on, yeah. It's just called Zoo 4. Okay. Hello, I'm on the Zoo 4. What are you talking about, Murphy? Zoo. No, it's just called Zoo, you big idiot. Alright, oh, could be God then. Right. Right, departure's fairly straightforward here. Let's have a look. RNAV radar vectors, that's grand. Takeoff obstacles, that's fine. Takeoff minimums is fine. Initial climb, direct jetty. Hang a left. Direct across Zoo between 6 and 23, at or below 230 knots, then on transition. Jets maintain flight level 230, turboprops maintain 15,000, expect filed altitude 10 minutes after. So we're going up, this is like straight up and out of it. This is brilliant. Depart and like, woof, up the hill we go. No messing around at all, right? Now, the arrival... 3-1 left. I take it this is a visual approach. There's no arrival here. RNP. What are we saying? 3-1 left. Chart 1221. Okay, our Jacqueline Cochrane Regional. Okay. Jacqueline Cochrane. So this is the way we're heading in. Why is it giving me this friggin' runaround? 1221. Oh, yeah. Man Dougal. Yeah, that looks better. That makes more sense. Drop the 2, carry the 1. It's alright, lads. Lads, that's why I do this, to keep you on your toes. You'd be sitting there going, why is he so stupid? Like, he has no idea. You know, and then I'd be like...
It's not the plane. It's the pilot.
You know. Brilliant. Right? Ah, Jesus.
Oh no. What happened? Oh no, how terrible.
Get a load of this guy.
That's just awful. How terrible. Oh no.
But we might go for the RMP. Yeah, we might do. Yeah. Right, anyway. This looks Beatball, Stone, Yucca, Fern, and then we're in. Missed approach. Right? Hang on, I'm kind of lost here though. Because the arrows are going the wrong way. We're going for runway 31. So we go from Fern to here.
Hello, San Diego traffic. This is your 9263 radio check.
555.
Thank you for that.
Am I right in saying this is our approach in? So can I not load that as a procedure? No. Set approach, arrival. Three one left. RNAV. Transition TRM. So it's the RNAV Y Fern. Right, that's the gadget. Right, so that's added to the route. Right, I've made this very stupid. Remove that out of there, you muppet. And remove this other one out of there, you big idiot. Right, now. And PSP come out of there. And remove this out of there. Right, now we're laughing. See, I fixed it. Right. Please don't forget there's no ILS. Yeah. Not the Z, the Y. What did I put in? RNAV Y. Yeah, we're good. Right, that's her there. Jesus. Right, we now know what we're doing. Ah, great. Brilliant. Well done, lads. Right. So there's no ILS. So our missed approach then. Climb to 900, then right turn to 4000, direct Taffney. Track 107 to Banff, and then track 114 to the TRM VOR. Okay, so we fly in this way. The VOR at Palm Springs. It's a huge circle to land operation. Things go belly up. It's climb 900, hang a right, and head to Tanfi. From Tanfi we head out to Banff, and then Banff we head down to Thermal and we hold there. Sharp right turn. Yeah, I mean, look at that, man, because we have mountains, right? Right, okay. This is going to be great crack. This is actually stunning looking. And this, before I even load into the scenery, I can tell this is going to be gorgeous. Riot. Over here now, hey, and get ourselves into Palm Springs. Don't hit the mountain, yeah, or just rejoin the approach. Yeah. Right, hang on there a second now. There's the sim is crawling up the hill. Right, Palm Springs. Ah, Jesus, brilliant. Do they have cargo? They do. Well, that's GA. That looks like the FBO. Do they do cargo up here? They do. That's the military side of the fence. General aviation. There's the terminal. That looking at that, it's an FBO. So there's no real cargo hub here, right? Right, we'll come down here. Oh, there is kind of cargo. Ramp GA. Let's go with that. 6:04 in the morning. Brighten it up a bit so we see what we're doing. The 13 right Zulu is even more fun, but crazy for a group flight. Aha, okay. Right, we'll see what the crack is here now. We get ourselves loaded in. This is Innibill's Palm Springs. Oh, Jesus, look at the state of the scenery. This is something else. Man alive, this is gorgeous. Yep, look at this. This is Innibill's one, lads. Isn't it brilliant? Do. Look at the surrounding area, man. This is gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. Oh yes, we're going to enjoy this later. This is absolutely class. Look at those mountains, look. Jesus. You used to spend time here when you were posted to 29 Palms. No way. It's lovely, isn't it? Man alive, it's gorgeous. Single runway, right? So we're saying our approach is that of 3-1 left. Double runway, 3-1 right. But we're not using that, so it's 3-1 left. The other runway they just used for GA. Oh, we got photogrammetry here, look. This is deadly. Oh, I'm liking this. So we're doing a circle to land neck of the woods. So we're going to come in over that way, and then we spin around, and then we go in this way. No go-arounds. Well, if there's a go-around, what we need to do, fly the runway heading, right turn 900, over this neck of the woods, intercept the VOR, which is over here somewhere. Where's the VOR? You'll see the VOR, no doubt. And then we're out this neck of the woods and then off over that direction for holding. Right? This place is friggin' real nice. I don't know why it doesn't. See with the terrain, they used to do that in 2020. It's a wrecked ahead. All the wind farms. Double wind farms. Okay. Airport looks nice though, doesn't it? Right, happy enough with the first flight. It'll be tricky, but it'll be fun, right? So that's the first part of the expedition. The second part of the expedition is a flight then over to Ontario. So the second leg of the flight... Oh, hang on, it's over in Discord. The second leg is going to be this way. Do. Aircraft is a 737-8. What are you flying with tonight, lads? Aerobat, yeah, it's really good, man. It's really good. The California update is gorgeous. Okay, let's re-import a new flight. Unload. We're going to import from SimBrief, and here's our second leg. That looks terribly straightforward. We're expecting runway 26 left. There's an ILS there if we want it. Astron. It'll be just final. Okay, very straightforward. Let's look at our... There's no departure, so... What do we do for departure? 3-1 left. (738) 319 was going with this with 750. Really liking the 738. I'm the same, naughty. I'm having great fun with it. So there's no. It's a straight out departure. Runway heading. Okay. Hello. Runway heading, then we'll get vectored, and then, like, look at you're only airborne and then you're down again. Brilliant. So let's have a look at the old ILS here. So straightforward, missed approach is what I'm after. Climb 2800, left turn to 5400, direct PDZ via war. Climb and hold. Paradise via war. Very straightforward. Let's have a look at the airport when we get in. 26 left. Non-movement areas, general aviation, south cargo ramp. So I'm going for cargo over here. Passenger aircraft are to the north. Cargo's to the south. Very short hop. Yeah. Tower might give a heading if they're on. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to be down here. Runway 31 departure. Man, this is going to be friggin' awesome. This is going to be a great flight tonight. Let's load in now to the other airport. I know it's default, but we'll just get an idea for it, right? So, KONT, you're only up here somewhere. There you go. We'll go down to, this is where the said cargo was. Right. Short second leg gives us some time in the ground at KPSP to get set up. Yeah.
You need to set parking.
Don't crash now, Sim. Okay, so far we know what the weather's going to do. It's relatively okay conditions. It's lovely and warm. It's going to be cloudy. There's no rain. The wind, we're going to get a tailwind, and the wind is coming in from the south. Let's see how the scenery wants to behave. Right. Okay, so why am I getting this texture crap? Anyone know why that happens? Like the LOD? Is it just LOD? Weird, isn't it? If I had to go off now and clear me shader cache and scenery index files and that, I think I do. I'll need to do that to Savo. Okay, well the free one is... Well... It's not great, is it? I mean, it's alright, it's grand, but like, it's literally just, yeah, put the airplane down. There's an advantage to using default scenery though, because you're not worried about stutters and whatnot, you know? Check the jetways on the right. Right. Yeah, that's pretty bad. The free add-on fixes that? Okay. I'm not overly worried. Mr. Minimite, yeah, I tend not to use that stuff. It's just weird. It's kind of okay, but I think what needs to happen, it's okay now. Again, it's all about loading cache in. It's just weird, right? LOD. I'll delete the cache and the scenery files and see how we get on. Usually it's a sure sign of things not going well. The rolling cache and the DirectX cache. That'll do it, you know. Yeah, I'm not overly worried. Look, it's a runway, it's an airport. I'd be parking down here into cargo. Yeah, it's, you know. It uses stock scenery module, so there's no impacts as naughty. That's the flightsim.to one, is it? And hold. What options do we have then for this? So FS add-ons compare, right? Who makes it? Oh, Field Air. Oh, Vertical Sim. I like Vertical Sim. Is it a 2024 scenery? It supports 2024. Or we have the one from Field Air. Oh. That doesn't look great, does it? Right, no. We won't do the Field Air one. Vertical Sim, I like. Oh, hang on, Anybills have it. Ah, sure, listen. Sure, now, hey, if Anybills have it, sure, you know, we could put in an out request there. Oh yeah, it's day and night in the difference, isn't it? Right, we'll grab it from Anybills. The free one, which is here. To be fair, they actually did a lot of work on the free one. It looks decent, doesn't it? No, I'll grab it from Anybills, and we'll have that loaded in then for this evening. That'll do. Right, I'm happy enough, lads. Have we any questions? Yeah, the Vertical Sim one, that's the one I'll grab, yeah. Any questions what we're doing? So, we've briefed ourselves with the weather, the aircraft is working, systems are working, scenery, this is a little bit, well, this is crap, so we'll grab payware scenery. And then it's going to be a fast flight, right? Everything's going to be fast moving this evening. So, you know, where is the parking brake located in the 737? Don't tell me I'm rolling. Down here. She's grand. Right? Ron Chocks. She's grand, right? We'd be grand. If I was in a DC-6, I'd be asking about where's the reverser, you know? Right, I'm going to get the scenery loaded in. I'll do a small bit of maintenance, just clearing out the cache and so on and so forth. We'll see how we get on. So this flight, lads, we're going to be doing both of these flights tonight live. The rugby on in the background, and I'm very excited because, well, this is going to be fun. Where's the car park located? Right. So I want to thank you all so very much indeed for joining us today. We covered Navigraph Academy, and now we are fully prepped for this evening's flight on VatSim. Shout out to Sid Squadron, Tony for the raid, and for everyone for joining us here today, lads. Thank you very, very much indeed. Your support, as always, it means the world to me. Don't forget, if you watch us on YouTube, well, do be sure to hit the little like button. It helps the channel on YouTube, which is weird. It's just, that's what they do. They do likes. And the more people who like it, the more they kind of recommend it to some poor old devils, you know. On YouTube, I couldn't find your first 2 training videos for the series. They should be in the same playlist. I'll double check it though, Carney. I'll double check it. But right, lads, until this evening, we're back in 5 hours and 34 minutes. Have an awesome day. Thanks for tuning in. See you soon.
Jay. Oh, okay.
Oh, balls. Thomas, you big scuttling Egypt. Oh, Jesus, there he is! I don't know! Oh, I take it all back. Did you just see me scream? Oh, no! That wasn't nice at all! No! Ready for this to give up? I'm a little teapot short.
Dreamy, sleepy,
and
nighty,
stout.
snoozy, snooze.
Here is me handle, and here is me spout. When I get all steamed up, hear me shout. Just tip me over and pour me out. Ah, Jesus!
Oh, stop.
You see? Bags are all the rage. Yeah, thanks for that, lads. Well done. What a great start to the feckin' night. And we're already... Stop pressing the buttons! Right, that needs to go, you know, fat. But in fairness, though... Right, you know, I mean... The posture, right? I'm talking about me, of course, right? But anyway, quick, before we're in trouble. No, I didn't do anything!